Hello, everyone, and welcome to He Makes Me Play. I am Marius, and I'm blind. I cannot see, and therefore I make other people play video games. And I am here today with my friend Vincent. Hey, Vincent.
Hello, Marius.
Yes, we're back. They're still striking, but we don't care.
We're back.
Whoa,
I can hear myself.
We don't
Yes,
care.
That's not. Sorry.
Technical difficulties. They're on. No, what was that?
I had the Twitch page open, and
Oh, it was just
apparently
streaming.
it was
Okay.
autoplay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
as soon as but it works. We're live.
That is true. Yes. And we're going to relax for a moment. We sort of stumbled into this stream. There were like technical difficulties behind the scenes here, like involving my mixer breaking. Actually, this is incredibly ambiguous what I just said. 'Cause,
Yes, I know.
like
You just realized.
yes, because I don't mean the audio mixer. I mean a literal like falafel and hummus mixer. How do you like that? I feel like mixer isn't even the correct word, Vincent.
I think it is.
but like,
a
so what's a Stab mixer? One that is like,
blender.
yeah, that's a more correct term. I'm talking about
you know
a
how
blender.
I got there
Google.
by thinking of the old does it blend?
Oh yeah, will it blend?
Will it blend? Yes.
And where they throw a cow into a blender and stuff. And
I've heard.
gnarly stuff. So yeah, I threw a cow into my blender and it broke. And then I don't know, I asked Vincent if he could get one, and then everything ran a bit late. But that falafel needs to be made. It's important.
Eventually.
Otherwise, we will have nothing to eat, and we'll probably
We'll
won't be
starve.
able. Yes, but how can I make? I don't think we can eat that today because by the time we're done with the stream, it's gonna be all late, and I can't start blending because then the people downstairs will wake up and stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe
That's
tomorrow.
very considerate of you. I was woken up
Wow.
today by my upstairs neighbor
What do they do?
and their vacuum cleaner.
Oh,
That wasn't. I don't know why they do that, but they like
well,
to.
presumably to
vacuum.
clean their apartment.
Yes, but in the morning,
Well, what do you mean by morning is the big question now.
Like 8-ish.
Yeah, it's a bit. I mean, no, 8 is officially okay, but still kind of a bit of a dick move if you're
Yeah.
being realistic.
But
I
I
would have
just-
said like, yeah, 6 or whatever is too early.
Well, okay. Let me hit you with this. 2 days ago, I was going to bed at like 3 a.m. and my downstairs neighbor started playing music with his e-guitar,
Well,
loud enough for the entire house to hear.
So number 1, that sounds like a dope guy. Number 2, yeah, that seems like an inappropriate time to do that. Although I have totally rocked out on the piano at 3 a.m. You know, like if you have guests or whatever, like I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't mind.
And yeah, that's cool, Vincent. Like credits to you. And I have to say, I'm
Don
quite.
Solarion, hello.
Hey, welcome to
Hello.
whatever this is right now. Complaining about neighbors, but I will finish this thought that I am actually quite glad in the apartment that I am in because I have literally in many years now I've never had problems with my neighbors. Either being annoyed by them or them complaining to me, and I've asked people and stuff, oh, do you hear the music or whatever, and it's all fine. But I guess everyone's sort of making effort, right? I'm not being a total dick about it. I am at least sort of, I try to be considerate and not mix falafel at like 11 p.m.
Yeah. Again,
Yeah.
that's very considerate of you.
Yes, yes.
I have different experiences in my apartment, but
Right.
yeah.
So while I think Vincent is sort of writing the Twitter message after we stumbled in here, so let me fill the air by
Yes, we're about to encounter more bots, probably.
more bots.
Yeah, from
Oh.
Twitter.
It's right, yeah. It's been a while since someone has tried to sell us some sort of
It's
graphical.
also, I
stuff.
think it's been a while since I actually posted a Twitter notice that isn't directly related to striking, which
right.
again they are doing today, but just not. the-
Yeah, but we don't get the Deutsche Bahn bots.
Yes.
So I noticed something while sort of doing a little bit of editing for like podcast stuff and so on. And the thing that I noticed is, well, several things, but one thing which I now did not do but wanted to do is that it's, I think, generally very useful to say the date at the start of the recording.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I was going through files, and yes, the file name also has the date in it, but it's annoying. It's much easier to just, right? Because you can have many recordings from the same day.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have to look at the time and sort of think about it. Much easier to look into the recording and just hear the person saying like the date. So it's March 14, right?
Yes.
2024.
I also.
Yes. There you go, future Marius.
Yes. Be thankful
Yes.
for the blessings.
But now you had to go like 5 minutes and listen to a useless falafel discussion. But there you go.
Yes. I watched some behind the scenes stuff lately, and at one point I paused the video and actually looked at the whatever the clapping thing is.
The cut
Yes,
indicator
exactly.
in movies. We don't know what that's called. Yeah.
It has a name. But
Yeah, I'm sure.
And it was interesting to actually read what's on there. It's the scene, I think, the number of the take,
Yeah.
and then also the director.
Right.
I don't know, not the producer, but like the cinematographer or something of
Okay.
that moment, and the date. It's
Yeah,
just-
makes sense.
Yeah.
That is what you want on those, and that's why I put in an order in Amazon to get one of those, and we will write down all those things in there.
Really? Oh,
Yes.
that's
no.
good.
No, it's a fun novelty item to have. I have
I
to
agree,
admit,
yes.
it's a
Uh-huh.
kind of a neat thing. Yeah. So as usual, as we've done today too, I want to start with our podcast segment. The other thing, by the way, I noticed is that we do this a lot, and I think we will continue to do it, but I think it doesn't go into the podcast. Like there's quite a bit of talking where like I ask you something and then we both just don't know, and then we sort of speculate about it uselessly for 5 minutes.
Yes.
And look stuff, and that is not, in my opinion, even for our rather low bar, that is not prime content. And I've sort of
That's
liberally cut that out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but I agree, it's fair, but it's like, it's also fair that we do that because it's still, what we do here is still sort of a very natural conversation, in my opinion, and I'd like to keep it that way. But it's just, you know, they can't all be, you can't knock them all out of the park. Some of them are going to be duds.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so today I think won't be a dud at all. I have a huge thing I want to talk to you about finally, and that is Daggerheart. Hey,
Yeah. it's out.
Daggerheart.
Well, the open beta is out.
The open beta, it started on March 12th. Right. That was like 2 days ago. And before that, we were actually already secretly part of the playtest, but couldn't talk about it. I made a whole video about that. It's on the channel. But also,
Signed an NDA. Very exciting.
yeah, we
stuff.
did. It was like, I felt so important.
We do.
Yes. Finally.
My
I'm somehow,
signature.
Yes.
It's worth something.
They finally care about me. Mercer, did you see this? I signed it anyway. But so I've of course already talked to Vincent about it behind the scenes quite a bit after he signed the NDA, of course.
Of course.
Yes.
Signed it together.
But now we have the chance to talk a little bit about Daggerheart on the podcast, and I'm quite excited about it. I have to admit, though, now, like, sure, we both have like a common basis with the playtest material. I have not looked at the actual PDF yet, just because I didn't quite have the time, and it's like it's surprisingly hard to get to if you cannot see and you have to operate a screen reader.
Yeah.
That's not an insurmountable problem, but yeah, like not sort of super easy to access. Like it, for instance, it isn't just on their website, even though they write that it is, at least not in a way where I could find it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Did you just find it?
Yes. So at the very start, it says Daggerheart open beta version 1.2 is live, and then it says play Daggerheart, and you can click that, and then it asks you for your mail, and I will say he makes me play
Okay, this is going too far already. This is too much work. I did not log in with my
And
credentials.
we're downloading.
Well, okay.
Yeah, let's just give us your email, and then you immediately it starts to download.
Man, I was gonna go into a whole accessibility rant. Way to take the wind out of my sails,
sorry,
Vincent. Well, this will go
sorry.
on the cutting room floor. I'll no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I just. It's true that that's the one thing I didn't try. The other options you had, though, I sort of started by exploring those. That was this sort of Demiplane website and Drive-Thru RPG, and both of them were sort of like, I don't know. I didn't know the Demiplane website. That seems to me to be something like D&D Beyond, that kind of stuff. And like, I know people like that. I'm not against these kinds of character builder sites or whatever you want to call them in principle. It's just I don't tend to like that stuff so much. And the Drive-Thru RPG, I went there and it like greeted me with, "Oh, you have been selected as one of our special users to try the new interface." And the new interface was, from a screen reader perspective, dog shit.
Oh, God.
So like that was my, at some point I just gave up and I thought,
I
okay,
understand.
I'll just get the PDF with together with Vincent. But so yeah,
Well, I'm
great Daggerheart discussion we're having here. Did you look at it, Vincent, at the PDF?
I did a little. Not too much. I looked at some of the abilities, and I looked at the beginning of the like the rules book.
Does it have more? Because that's what I was missing. That wasn't in the playtest material. Does it have lots of instructions to like the DM?
Yes, it has a lot of instructions. I didn't really quite get to, I would say, the proper rule segment.
Right.
Because the beginning of the book, apart from having some disclaimers regarding, hey, we haven't edited this yet and all that.
Sure.
It's more about the general feel of the game, what it is going for.
All right.
Make it your own, make your own rules if necessary. Don't let
I
the
was
rules
also
restrict
hoping
you.
for something like that. Yeah.
And it's honestly quite wordy.
Sure.
Of course, they have not yet
Yeah.
worked with an editor.
Yeah. Kill your babies and stuff.
But I was surprised by the game starts with a good 10 pages of just general instructions on how to interact with the game, and it's just like full thin A4 pages of text.
Right. Does it do the thing that all RPGs do, which is explain to you what a role-playing game is in a way that is illogical and incoherent? Okay, scratch the last bit, but does it answer
does,
that question?
yes.
Okay, yeah.
But I skipped that part because, I know.
But that's like, this is my secret obsession. I love reading those paragraphs, and I will, and then we'll talk about it, I'm sure. But they're often inherently contradictory.
In what way?
Well, in the sense that, okay, what is a role-playing game? Well, in a role-playing game, you, like, the DM crafts a story, and you are in charge of the main character. And do you see what I mean? It's just that tends to those two statements are in contradiction with each other, right?
Yes, because if you are in control of the main character, then what is the DM in control of?
Yeah, he's not exactly crafting the story, right? But it's also, I don't really blame people for putting that in their books, because that kind of gets you an idea of what's going on. Like, just because it's contradictory doesn't mean it's wrong. Because I think that's the appeal of role-playing games, that kind of tension, right? That's not easily resolvable with, like, okay, who is in charge here exactly, right? Who is telling the story? Well, it's kind of collaborative, right? It's difficult to pin down what's going on exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm curious about their statement.
I have the PDF open. I'm not going to read it to you, actually, because that's...
it's too much. I'll look into it myself.
Yeah, but
once I have acquired the PDF.
The first 3 paragraphs are introduction. Welcome to Daggerheart. What is a tabletop role-playing game? And what kind of role-playing game is Daggerheart?
Okay, yeah.
And then it starts with touchstones. and it
Gives you some
reminds me.
examples.
Yes, it talks about inspirations for Daggerheart.
That's good.
And it lists TTRPGs like
What are the? I'm very interested in this. Let's discover
Yeah.
this together. What are the inspirations?
13th Age,
Uh-huh.
Apocalypse Keys,
I don't know that one.
Apocalypse World,
I know that one.
same. Blades in the Dark,
Sure.
we knew that.
Yeah.
City of Mist,
Yeah, I think I heard of that one.
I haven't. Cortex Prime,
Mm-hmm.
Cypher System,
Mm-hmm.
Dishonored.
Oh, now they're doing video games, right? Is
No.
Dishonored a TTRPG?
No, this is
Okay.
just TTRPGs.
Alright,
We're
alright.
getting to video games later.
All right.
Dishonored, Dungeons and Dragons, of course.
Mm.
Flea Mortals, For
Ah.
the Queen, Genesis,
Mm-hmm.
Lady Blackbird, Masks, A New Generation,
Mm.
Pathfinder, Shadowrun, The Quiet Year, Wild Sea, and Slug Blaster.
So I didn't know that one. So basically everything in the kitchen sink. Like everything except Vampire the Masquerade. We don't like that one.
Yes. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
All right.
And then they go on with books,
Yes.
Song of Ice and Fire series,
Ah, interesting.
A
Okay.
Wizard of Earthsea,
Mm-hmm.
Sabriel, which I have never heard of.
No, I don't know that.
The
I love these, but sorry, I love
Yes.
these lists also because I've honestly discovered books just by reading through the touchstones, inspirations of TTRPG creators.
Yeah, I was so happy when I found in some of the last pages of the, I think, Dungeon Master's Guide or Player's Handbook for D&D. There's also a list of, hey, here are just a list of inspirations.
Yeah,
that was great.
It's so cool. Yeah.
So, A Wizard of Earthsea,
Right.
Sabriel, The Wheel of Time, and the Lord of the Rings series.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, strong, except for that one that I just don't know.
Yeah. And
But man, are you surprised by this as well? Like, I would have not exactly expected Game of Thrones on this list.
no.
Just from looking at Daggerheart so far, and also now I was going to bring this up later, like looking at their one shot that they did and stuff. Just tone wise, Game of Thrones seems a bit more rough.
Did
you know,
watch that? The one shot?
I did, yeah.
Okay, I haven't.
I did some homework, Vincent. Come on.
Well, I looked at the PDF, sorry.
Yeah, it's perfect distribution of labor here. But it's just like Game of Thrones is a bit too dark, fantasy, gritty realism
Yeah.
for what I expected. But maybe maybe the way they played it, that's not the only way that you can play Daggerheart.
Maybe. But I also, I'm starting to get into the actual game system, but one of the complaints I've read is that it's quite hard to fail in this game.
Yeah, I can
Which
see
is,
that.
I would say, the exact opposite of Song of Ice and Fire.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's
Everyone fails all the time.
Yeah, the expected outcome is failure.
Yes.
But we can go on with movies and television.
Yeah, go for it.
The Dragon Prince.
Okay.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
The Lord of the Rings.
Sure.
Again. The Witcher.
Cool.
Interesting that they listed as a movie and television and not as a book.
Or a video game.
True. And finally, The Legend of Vox Machina.
Okay,
Which
sure.
is-
No, that's totally legit. That makes complete
Yeah.
sense. I mean,
they are
for
taking
me,
inspiration from themselves.
yeah, but that's totally like if
I
you
guess?
if you
Sure.
didn't give me this list or you wouldn't tell me, okay, what kind of game is Daggerheart, I would have automatically assumed, oh, this is the system you would use if you want a TTRPG campaign similar to what Critical Role was doing on stream.
Yeah,
And I think that's totally legit to use that as an inspiration.
Yeah, I guess. Still find it funny.
Yeah, a little bit.
And finally, video games, Borderlands, which is
Okay.
also a surprise,
Maybe for the tone,
I guess.
right? That's kind of a funny game.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
But also much more grim at times than I expect this game to
Yeah.
be. But, Dragon Age Inquisition,
Interesting.
Outriders, and the Elder Scrolls series.
Okay.
And that's it. And then they go into special appreciation and list. The Genesis system was a major inspiration for the 2-axis results of the duality die. Cipher systems, jam intrusions paved the way for spending fear to interrupt the scene. And they list a few more.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't know the Genesis system at all. Well, that's not true. I've seen it a little bit online, but I've not. I read the PDF or whatever, and never played it. But I feel like they've taken inspiration from a bunch of other systems, which is great. It's you mix and match what works. That's what I would hope for. I do find it interesting in this whole list now. All the classic, like there is Dungeons and Dragons in there, but the sort of original inspirations for Dungeons and Dragons, all the sort of pulp fantasy stuff, your Jack Vance's, your Conan the Barbarians and all that stuff of like going into dungeons and grabbing treasure, not giving a fuck. That's not on this list, right? It's all more. How would you call it? A bit more highbrow, I guess.
Yeah, also
A bit more cultivated.
I don't know. Maybe it's. Is it more recent? I guess not, right?
Well, most of it, I mean, Game of Thrones, yeah, it's reasonably recent. I mean, like Jack Vance is what, from the 60s or whatever?
Yeah, but then they also list The Lord of the Rings and Wizards of Earthsea, which is
okay. The
not necessarily recent.
Earthsea, that's the Ursula Le Guin novels, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Aren't they like from the 90s? I might be wrong about
really?
this.
I thought they were older, but it might be. I don't know. I read them.
But certainly second half of the 20th century. As opposed to, well, actually, when did Lord of the Rings come out?
In the 40s.
Yeah,
40s
right.
and
That's
50s.
sort of still first half. I'm not totally wrong on that. Yeah. So yeah, maybe a bit more modern, the inspirations, which isn't surprising. It's 2024. Get a grip. We don't have to play Conan anymore, and I don't want to. I mean, that's fine. I'm just noticing that, right?
Yeah, that's a good point to make.
And it's so that I'm still wondering. Okay, how would you play? Like, what's the desired play style? And yeah, like from this kind of list of inspirations, I would not put it down as a sort of OSR game. That's always what's going on in my head. How OSR is it, or is it not OSR at all?
Yeah, this seems more somewhere between Dungeons and Dragons and the Apocalypse World.
Yeah, sure. The Apocalypse World, being a very, very overtly narrative-focused game, right?
Yeah.
Whereas, well, it's like, so I think like this whole taxonomy of RPGs, right? And I don't want to get into that whole thing now. We can make a whole episode about that one day when we run out of stuff to talk about, which isn't going to happen, I think. But still, like, they can. Let's just say that RPGs can be more mechanically oriented or more storytelling oriented, right?
Yeah.
And I always felt that what Critical Role was doing on stream was this sort of in between thing. I guess you would call that neo-trad play, as neo-traditional,
Okay.
and like I think that's what Daggerheart wants to be, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not sort of a. What's an example for a super mechanically gameplay oriented type of game?
I would say Dungeons and Dragons, especially in combat.
Yeah, but people don't play it that way though, and Critical Role didn't play it that way on stream, right?
Yes.
So,
guess.
like the extreme example I'm thinking of, you've played this, like, but this is sort of more of a board game. But I forget the name of it. It's sort of a weird example now because it's not an RPG. But
What are you talking about?
well, what was it called? Like,
Board game? That's
yeah, it's
super
more
role focused.
no. It's like inspired by the fiction of Dungeons and Dragons, but pushed so far to the mechanical side of things that it feels a little bit more like a board game, right? Where you're like exploring a dungeon. Like, isn't Munchkin like this? That's a game, right?
Munchkin is a card game, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So not a board game, but
No.
does that fit my description?
Yeah, there's no role play.
Yeah, it's not the intention, right?
Yeah.
So
True.
like, okay, like I'm sure like in the break or whatever, I'll remember what the other one is called. But let's say that's the one extreme, and on the other hand is hippy dippy narrative games like Apocalypse World and stuff, right?
Yes, okay.
And there's probably more extreme examples than that, and I would say Daggerheart and stuff is sort of in the middle. It's the feeling I'm getting from
I
the
would agree
rules
with that,
and
yes.
also from this list of inspiration. Yeah. All right. Anything
Then
else?
they go into the heart of the game, which again is a full page. And then the most important rule of Daggerheart is that you make the game your own.
Sure.
And then they explain that. Player principles. And I'm just going to read the sub-headlines here. Be a fan of your character and their journey. Spotlight your allies. Play to find out what happens.
Oh, wow.
Address the characters and address the players.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on gently. In this case, I'm going to read. Improvisational storytelling isn't always perfect, and that's okay. Hold on gently to the fiction. Enough that you don't lose the pieces that matter, but not so tightly that the narrative has no room to breathe. Make mistakes and make changes. Smooth the edges and shape them to fit.
Okay.
And then finally,
that also fits the middle of the road ethos.
build the world together.
Okay. That's good. Interesting. That's good to know. That is, I would say, a little bit against the traditional way of doing Dungeons and Dragons, where, as I said earlier, the DM is the crafter, the master crafter of the narrative, right, and is the arbiter of what is true and what is false in the world that you're playing in. This is more, right, I associate this with the Powered by the Apocalypse games, Apocalypse World, Dungeon World, and so on, where you would ask the players, like, okay, so how would orcs react to you going into their cave, right? How do they work in our fiction that we generate together? So far that those games actually have mechanized that kind of thing, right? I remember in Dungeon World, they have the spout lore move, and a player can just say something about the fiction and then roll 2d6, and if he or she rolls well enough, it's true, and if not, the DM gets to put a spin on it.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. I have to say, I did not see, well, there were some sort of narratively oriented mechanics, but nothing that strong that I've seen in the rules.
No.
In the domain cards and stuff that I've seen.
No, I don't think so. Even I mean, I've looked at some of the higher level domain cards.
Nice.
But nothing narrative, I think. Not that I remember. Honestly, they were more like D&D spells, I would say.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I would expect. I mean, if the trend from the first level cards continues, those were not like super groundbreaking, I'd say. And it might sound negative. I don't mean it that way. They were just kind of, if you've been playing RPGs for a while, it's like, oh yeah, this makes sense. This is how you would do sleep, I guess.
Yeah.
And this is Magic Missile, and it all works out.
Yeah. And I've read some of them, not all of them, but it seems to continue that trend.
Right.
Even at the highest level.
I have a very specific question, and this is also from watching the one shot of Critical Role. And since you've also heard a little bit about how, what the reaction was out there.
Yeah.
And you said like, oh, it's kind of hard to fail and stuff. So one thing that from the playtest materials was not clear to me was, okay, how does combat actually work? How do damage thresholds in particular work? I still don't completely understand it because I didn't read the PDF, but from watching the one shot, they had a big combat in there, and that was great. But what was happening was that people were rolling damage. Then the victim would, well, first of all, you have to beat with your roll the evasion, which is kind of like the natural armor class, I guess. Then if you hit, you roll damage. Then that damage needs to pass the specific damage thresholds of the victim.
Okay.
And this is like minor, major, and severe. And I think it is always the case that once you then pass that threshold with the damage you do, let's say you pass minor, then the victim will take 1 HP damage, at major 2 HP, and at severe 3 HP. And that then gets deducted or deduced from your actual HP score.
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah, and well, what do you think about that? Did I say it correctly. Is that how it works?
I mean, I haven't read this before, but just skimming it here, I think you're correct.
Right.
The GM tells you to take damage, compare that number to your thresholds, and mark hit points depending on the tier. Damage of 0 or below marks no hit points or stress. Damage below minor marks 1 stress, but no HP. Minor damage marks 1 HP, major damage marks 2, and severe damage marks 3 HP.
Right.
Okay, it reminds me.
Like, just as a spoiler, I'm not decided on this. So it's it's not a trick question. There's no correct or incorrect answer.
No, it reminds me of the CRPG Pillars of Eternity had something that reminds me a bit of this, because in that game your characters have HP, but also I think just stamina or something.
Sure.
And when you fight, you don't usually use HP. You use stress, or stamina, or whatever they call it.
Of course.
And when you get hit, you lose stamina or stress or whatever. And when that actually reaches 0, or you take enough damage in one hit to break some threshold, you actually take HP damage, which means that and at the end of the fight, your stress resets or your stamina,
right?
But your HP doesn't. And I remember that I really enjoyed that mechanic in the game.
Sure.
Because you slowly drain HP over time, but but every fight you basically begin with not full HP, but your full capability of fighting.
Yeah, it's also, I could see how that would make it. I mean, that's a CRPG. There's no DM. I guess the designer would be the same role then. But if it were a TTRPG and you were the DM, it's might make, having several encounters in sequence, or just a dungeon. It might make that easier to design, because you will never put the players in this position where they're sort of stuck deep in the dungeon with 1 HP or whatever.
Exactly.
They'll always have a shot at fighting just on their stamina. Yeah. And it also reminds me of like Shields and Halo and stuff. I think lots of FPS shooters have this mechanic, right?
Yeah, even more so now. Like the whole Call of Duty series that has basically no damage until you die, or you take damage, but it heals very quickly, and then you fall back. Anyway, I like this. I think I would have to see how it plays out, actually, but I'm wondering now, even as a GM, how would that affect combats? For example, if the like the tanks of the group, the fighters and whatever they're called, the guardians, probably have higher thresholds, so you can hit them harder than a wizard, for example, or a sorcerer.
Yeah, and you can also increase, right? I saw that was part of the level up mechanics, that you can increase these thresholds, and very specifically so, right? You can choose to increase either minor or the severe one, and so on. And that's very fiddly, and I find that interesting. That it gets my brain going. Like, oh, what kind of character builds and sort of tactical decisions do I have here?
Yeah, and I honestly, I just in general, I think I like the idea of having like a 2-part HP system.
Okay.
Because just having HP as a resource feels like there's much left to be desired. Because I think you talked about it in the video, actually. Basically, HP doesn't matter until you have 0.
Yeah. That is absolutely true.
I don't know how this will actually feel in the game in that regard. But any change to the natural or to the more common, you just have a whole bunch of HP system, I enjoy.
I mean, I said this in the video too. I'm not against the old system, but that's a particular way of doing things, and I think we should just recognize that that's not the only way to do things.
No,
and you can create very interesting decisions if you make it a bit more nuanced.
Yeah, I will also say I don't know how it exactly works in Blade in the Dark.
Neither do I. I think neither you nor I have played Blades.
Yes, I've watched people play it, but that part never really made sense to me.
Yeah.
And I never looked it up. But in that game, there's also these 3 different wound types. And I enjoyed it in that case that there was a narrative going along with the actual getting hurt with the violence, right? Because if you take a minor wound, you describe what kind of wound you take, right?
Yeah, I love that.
Maybe just a cut to your arm or something. But if it's a severe wound, okay, something gets broken or something gets crushed or something like that. And
Well, I need to see if there's more rules associated with that. For instance, like, okay, if you have a severe wound that needs treatment within like 10 minutes or
yeah,
so.
I don't know if it does that, but even then, that would be something that I might hack as a DM.
Because you don't like that?
No, because I enjoy having the narrative.
You would
going
hack
along
it
with
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, generally, I notice, I think this game is very hackable, and I enjoy that. If only because of its modularity and stuff, but also just in general, it feels like it's robust in its design, robust in the sense that you can fuck with it and it'll not fall apart.
Yeah.
Right, which is not like, don't do that with Burning Wheel. Like, just don't.
No,
it doesn't work with every game.
It doesn't work with every game, but it's a plus, definitely.
Yeah,
I still one of the favorite, if not the favorite game of mine is
Stars Without Number. I know you're going to say that, which is extremely hackable.
Exactly, that's the one of the main reasons why the game is so good, because it's you can do so many things in there, and the game just accepts it and moves on.
It will not break.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, it remains to be seen if that's really true for Daggerheart, but I get the feeling that it's very hackable, and it's also, it wouldn't be very difficult, I think, to come up with new, like, foundations and domain cards and all that stuff. And it's so... like, even if you want to hack it just a little bit, then okay, just create a couple of cards, right, and mix them in with the stuff that's already available.
Yeah.
So that's cool. The thing with the damage thresholds and stuff, I agree with everything you've said. I think we have a similar view on it. This is a much like more mundane point. I just wonder if it's going to be tedious at the table to sort of calculate that stuff all the time. Like, calculate maybe is too strong of a word, but I just felt sort of watching them and, like, going through the number of steps involved in arriving at what actual HP damage you take, that might be a lot of steps if the intention is that it's turn-based combat like D&D, right, where we trade a lot of blows. I didn't know this before, because just looking at the character creation, it might have been the case that in Daggerheart, like other games like, I don't know, Dungeon World or Burning Wheel and stuff, they do that, where you can resolve an entire combat with one roll, right? And you just get a result from the dice, and then whoever wins the roll, the DM or the player, they get some narrative license to describe how the fight goes, and then that's it. And we don't have to linger on this group of goblins any longer and stuff. But of course, I'm not going to say I don't enjoy sort of tactical beer and pretzels wargaming at the table, right? And getting into the nitty-gritty. And I love D&D as a wargame and stuff. That's cool too. But you know what I mean? Those two things have different sort of design constraints.
Yeah. Okay.
But you see what I'm getting at, right?
Yes. One thing I'm immediately thinking of is, can you just like move all the thresholds one step to the right, basically? So if you are below 6 HP in this example, or below 6 wound, you take 1 damage or 1 hit point, and then moves up to 2 and 3 and 4. No matter what happens, you take HP damage.
So a fight sort of resolves a little bit more quickly. Sure,
that
would be a hack. Yeah,
how that would change the way the game would play.
Yeah.
I'm also. Can you go more into why it was so tedious? Because
I'm not saying it was tedious. It just made me wonder. Oh, would this become tedious at some point? Right.
Okay. So at higher levels, for example.
I mean, I didn't find the fight super interesting, but that's. I don't think the damage thresholds are the culprit there. It was just, okay, this is a one shot, it's a low level fight, and there
Sure.
are no stakes and stuff, right? But it's just that, there were many parties in the fight and many attack rolls were made, and each time you have to go through this sort of sequence of, okay, do I hit or not? Okay, how hard do I hit? But then I sort of have to repeat that step of how hard. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Because
yes.
it just takes a lot of derivation to arrive at that final HP value that I actually deduce from my character sheet. And there's just something inside of me. Maybe it's the programmer, the amateur game designer. I don't know. Something that craves efficiency in these things. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I want
I'm-
to streamline that into like one roll or like one step.
Yeah, but I think having it as 2 steps is the idea, right? Because I want to, as a player, okay, I think these are very different experiences for the player and for the DM. I don't know if monsters actually have these damage thresholds.
They
but-
do. I was
Okay,
wondering
yeah.
the same thing because I thought, oh yeah, you could solve a lot of this by just having asymmetrical rules
Yeah.
and monsters, because it's not interesting for a player. You see what I mean? To like watch the DM. I cast an AOE on like 5 goblins or whatever.
Yeah, they took no damage. Lol.
Yeah, and he has to go through the thresholds for each of them.
yeah.
Like just as a DM, it's so many more numbers to keep track of. You know what I mean?
Okay,
And
I'm
not
already
just
thinking
the
of
HP value.
How can you hit that? How can you hack that to make it easier? I'm just thinking, okay,
Yeah,
just have all the monsters of a certain challenge rating always have the same thresholds, no change whatsoever.
I like that. Yeah, I love stuff like that. That makes it easier to keep it in my head. But
going
I
back-
don't know if that's gonna work.
Yeah, no idea.
Yeah.
But going back to the different experiences for the GM and the player, I can totally see that being annoying for the GM because he has so many different creatures that he has to control, or she, and they might have different damage thresholds, and there's a lot of attacks coming at him, and there's just a lot to figure out. For a player, at least the way I see it for myself, I don't see it as a big problem. One,
yeah.
because it's pretty simple math, right? The DM tells me, okay, you take 12
That's true,
damage, and then
yeah.
you look at the sheet you have. Okay, that much. That means that HP. And
Comparison is easy for people.
yes, and also I would probably get used to the actual numbers I have on my sheet pretty quickly. Just
Right.
knowing, okay, 12 damage. Okay, that means 2 HP. Right, without even having to double check.
You bring something up though that this whole which mathematical or arithmetic operation are people doing? That makes a big difference in my experience, right? People are comparison is easiest, adding is easiest, after that, and then usually comes minus and division, subtraction and division. People hate that shit. And that takes more cognitive resources. So like the comparison step is easy and stuff. Here's a step though that I've forgotten, and that makes this, I think, much, much worse. I forgot it in the sequence earlier, but it's evasion, it's rolling damage, comparing to thresholds. Then the player has the choice of spending armor slots to, I think, roll dice in order to reduce the initial damage value. Change with threshold might be the selected one. And then, I'm counting 5 steps now, then you get to the actual HP value.
Okay,
that's
yeah,
deduced.
that changes a lot. Because as soon as the player has to take an action, I think
Yeah.
this is suddenly...
Or has to make a choice.
Yeah,
right?
this is suddenly a very different beast. Because if you tell me as a DM, hey, you take 12 damage, and then you move on to the next character or the next attack or whatever, while I figure out, okay, what does that actually mean? That seems perfectly fine. If you have to wait for me to do the arithmetics to figure out, okay, I take that much damage, do I actually want to spend armor slots? I can see how that would slow the
Right,
game
and
down.
they have to decide, do they want to use an armor slot each time they get hit, and then they have to do it and then subtract the amount and then do a comparison. And I just, from my experience playing RPGs for over 10 years, I feel that will slow down combat.
Weird flex, but okay.
Well, it's true though.
Yeah.
Not ashamed of it. Some people might be, but I'm not.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
Yeah, but I don't want to be all negative Nancy on this because yeah, there's lots of complicated mechanics out there that we just got used to. It might be that once you get into the flow of it, this is actually very natural. It's just something that I was wondering about, and that I'm just very curious about playtesting this out. And
Yeah,
just
me
seeing how it feels.
Yeah, I think apart from the whole armor slot stuff, I really like this. Even just as a player thinking about, hey,
Yeah.
The DM telling me, hey, you take 5 damage, and I'm grinning at him. No, I'm not.
Yeah, I know
Minor
you like
threshold,
that
6.
idea. Sure,
Yeah.
but how much how much are you gonna like that, Vincent, when it's you shooting like the turtle
I'm gonna
ninjas or whatever,
hate that.
and you deal no damage.
Yeah,
And
totally.
like that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I know.
I like the system. I think there's some things I would change, but in general, I like what they're presenting here.
Yeah. It makes me very curious to try it out. But that was sort of I don't know, the biggest thing I wanted to talk about, this whole damage threshold stuff.
Let me ask you,
Yeah.
how did the game feel in the one shot?
Well,
Did it feel smooth? Did you enjoy watching it? Did you? Okay.
well, I enjoyed seeing these wonderful people and sharing the fun they were having.
Okay. That's a good start.
It is. There wasn't, except for the combat, which I found mechanically very interesting, there wasn't that much that I've seen of Daggerheart. You know what I mean? It took like 20 minutes or so until the first roll came up. And that's, of course, what I'm looking for, right? And then they
Okay.
did a lot of rolls on knowledge and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. I bounced off for the exact same reasons that I bounced off the third campaign,
Yeah. Okay.
which is that's just a thing.
How did failure appear? Was there a situation where they just completely failed a roll?
That's a good question. None with strong consequences, I would say.
Okay. I mean,
But
okay,
that might not be a Daggerheart thing, is the thing.
Yeah,
It might be a Matthew
one-shot thing
Mercer
or
in his
Mercer,
current
yeah.
form thing.
That's
you
a
know what I
nice way-
mean.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a nice way to put it. His current form, yes.
Well,
Not his final form.
It's like Picasso who had a blue face, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is Mercer in his face. I don't know how to call it.
In his Daggerheart face.
Maybe you would call it like that. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm
Also,
a huge fan of Mercer. I loved the second campaign was
Mm-hmm.
my favorite. I'm a huge fan of Critical Role. I don't want to be negative. Is the thing.
Yeah, I mean, this is why we're so excited about the game.
Yeah.
But by the way, do you have any idea why it's called Daggerheart?
No, but I think it's a good name. Don't you think so?
I agree. I
mean,
just
it
don't know
has-
why.
It has great. Well, it's like Name of the Rose, right? There's nothing in the book Name of the Rose that has anything to do with that phrase, right? But still,
Yeah, I
it
guess.
sort of fits because, it summons up the same dictionaries. Do you know what I mean? It just creates associations
Yeah.
of words, and I think dagger is a total like Dungeons and Dragons fantasy role-playing kind of word that brings up those dictionaries. And heart, I like it. It's about love, it's about commitment, caring.
It fits the dagger theme, right? You stab a heart.
Absolutely, that too. That also comes up, right? That you have the pain of loss and heartache and stuff. I don't know. I think they picked a good name. I wonder how it looks like written out. That's sort of a thing that's also often overlooked, I think. You know what I mean? How if you just type it, does it look good? The typography of it. But I mean, I can sort of imagine it, and I think it looks.
I mean,
fine.
the main logo they have is just the Daggerheart word, and it's in all caps.
Right.
It's a pretty simple script, but it works in my opinion. And then the actual logo is, I think, just a dagger. Is there? Oh yeah, it's like a dagger that has either a cloth running off it or maybe flame, something like that. No heart though, for some reason.
Well, that's what you have to bring to the table. Some
That's
heart.
so smart. Yes.
Yeah. The other thing I noticed, and I was wondering, I'm not sure if we talked about this, but this was also in the one shot they did. That okay, two things actually. We're not done here yet.
Hit me.
Don't worry. So they had a wild variety of races, right? Like there was like a frog person, and I think a mushroom wizard, and all kinds of people, and it's just gives me this feeling also of like a game that is extremely fantastical, right?
Sorry, I'm just you started talking about races. The moment I stopped at the table of contents and looked at the long list of ancestry.
Right, it's called Ancestries,
Yeah.
and that's fine. I just
it's
I keep having
16.
this. There's too many
16.
fucking RPGs and too many fucking terms for everything. I mean, they also renamed a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
It's just a new terminology I'm gonna have to learn.
I mean, at least they kept class.
That's true. Yeah. I wonder why. There was one naming, I can't remember it now, but it kind of tripped me up. I'm not sure.
Class, ancestry,
No,
community.
no, we can't go through all the terms now. It's it'll come to me. But what's your impression on, like, how do you feel on all this multitude of ancestries?
I think I generally enjoy it more if a game has less options in character creation instead of like I'd rather have more. I don't even know if I want more steps to a character creation, but
Sure.
I think generally if you present me with or tell me, hey, pick one of these 16 things,
Yeah.
I don't enjoy that. Whether it's background or ancestry or race or even skills. It's just it takes.
But what would make it better? Do you want more options or fewer options or a different mechanic altogether?
Generally fewer options.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think works better in character creation.
Right.
I'm just
I mean, you kind of get that with like subclasses and stuff. There's generally just
Yeah.
two.
No, I'm just going through all the games we've played and how they work, right? Like in stuff without numbers, you have your background and like your package or whatever, and your class
Training
and
package. At
then
least
you-
in the original edition.
Yeah,
it's
it's
slightly
like
different in the
2 or 3
revised one.
choices, and
Yeah.
then you're basically done.
Yeah.
And even the choices you do make, they're not like there are 3 classes. That's it.
Yeah. Or compare this with Basic Expert, right? The
And-
D&D version. You don't even get to pick race. It's part of your class.
Yeah.
Okay, this guy's a fighter and you're an elf. Go.
And on the other end of the range
Right.
is, I would say, Burning Wheel, where the game tells you, hey, pick a life path. Here are 400 of them.
Yeah. Of
And,
course. That's a whole session in itself, making characters in that.
Yeah, and in that case, you just have to go about the game differently, right? You
Yeah.
don't start reading the list and go through, okay, what do I want to be? You have to figure out who your character is before you even start actually looking
Yeah.
at the list, basically, because otherwise you'll just be overwhelmed and it makes there's no point to it.
Well, I feel like if you're like a new player and maybe you haven't considered doing sort of fantasy or more historical medieval role playing, you can look at the life path and get a sense, get a little bit inspired
Oh,
by
yeah,
reading.
definitely.
Oh, I could be a bishop in this game. Okay, how does that work? But
Yeah, that definitely. But you can't go.
Yeah.
I wouldn't suggest that you go through the entire list
oh yeah,
and read all of them and then pick
yeah.
the
Try
ones
to
you
optimize
think-
your stats.
Yeah, good luck.
Yes.
And this is, I think, for me, it's trying to be where Burning Wheel is without actually getting there. So
But it has the choices are so flat, right? I mean, in Burning Wheel, it's sort of more hierarchical in in the sense that the life path, they have to be put into sequence and then they build on each other. And it forms this tree structure. At least all the choices in Daggerheart, right? There's no tree structure. It's all flat. Okay, here's your ancestry. Pick out of this list, and now pick your community. But it's not like, oh, these are the communities for cat people, etc. Do you know what I mean? That's the modularity. You can mix and
Yeah.
match freely.
Also, I have to say, a lot of these things just don't evoke any fantasy idea.
Yeah, I was
Like how
yeah. But they might write more fluff text in the final book, right?
sure.
Or are you wishing for something else?
No, I'm specifically thinking about, okay, what would I choose here? And some of these are totally obvious. Okay, I know what a dwarf is. I know what an elf is. I know what a demon is to some extent.
Yeah.
But I can imagine something where that would work, like a tiefling, where they can live in society. I have no idea what a Qatari is.
That's a cat person, right?
Yeah, but I also have no idea about. Is it a cat person?
They're like tabaxi.
Yes, I have no idea. Do they have a specific society they live in?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
are their features? And I don't mean like physical features. What are the features of their characters? Like if I hear goblin or orc, I have some idea what I'm getting into.
Sure.
But
And we all have those ideas, right? And we share them, and that's why we can create a narrative together.
yeah, but here with a lot of these, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I can tell you that I have some associations about cats, and like I would not leave a glass at the edge of my table with a tabaxi in the room, or a
Fair.
Qatari or whatever.
Okay.
And like, excuse me. I mean, we're not completely lost, but I think I share your.
It's just I don't mind having like some additional options to the traditional ones that we all know.
Yeah.
It's just there's a lot going on here, and I think I would like it if it's a bit reduced, and then more the I'm just saying what D&D does, but give me an option and then split it into sub options.
Sure.
That might work better. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
feeling a little overwhelmed by this gigantic
I think we
list.
share that. That's the main problem. I have no issue with stuff being fantastical, and I have no issue with RPGs deviating from the standard elf, halfling, human, and so on. It's just that if I was the DM for a Daggerheart game and players came to me with a party of frog person, turtle person, cat person, etc., I would feel pressured into coming up with, okay, I don't know, an interesting individual culture for each of these, and frog and cat person NPCs and stuff. And I feel like I don't have enough guidance to do that in an interesting way.
Yeah.
But it might also be, and that's probably true, that I'm completely overthinking this, and it's just like people want to just have fun and be a cat person, and like why not, right?
Marius, this isn't about fun.
Yeah, I know.
This is about games, and this is serious.
I mean, I think the problem though is already solved if you just reduce, like, you as a DM, you can say, okay, pick like 4 cool special races, and those are going to be in the world, and that's it. Like I can deal with those. Right? And then we just don't have all of them at the same time in the same world. Then I feel like it just gets too crazy for me. But
Yeah, pick just the races that start with a G.
how many would those be?
3.
Like, do they have Goliaths?
They have
Giants, right?
giants,
Which I actually thought was super cool. I love and they said like giants have 1 to 3 eyes, which I really enjoyed.
That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Giant, goblin, and galapa. Or galapa.
Right, but it's okay. See, here's the thing. If you told me, okay, let's have a campaign where you have these 3 ancestries and they are like on a mythical island on the back of a turtle, and they've been fighting over this turtle island since beginningless time, and then my mind would get going, right? It starts, and I can deal with that and come up with something, and that's interesting. But it's just if it's like everything in the kitchen sink, and it's just the creativity doesn't get going in me.
Yeah.
I need some restrictions, but that's all easily solvable, and it does. make me wonder, like, I don't know. When we played fantasy role playing games, it was always the sort of pulpy kind of Conan-esque play, I would say. But there's also, do you know what I'm getting at? Like, you could have more sort of fairy tale like stories that you play through, right?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
what if you start a campaign and you make the story about something a bit more whimsical, exactly. Like, oh, I'm stealing this from somewhere, but I forget. But just know that I'm stealing. I don't want to pass this off as my own. But like, Summer has like died or whatever, and like you and your friends have to leave your village to go to like the Lord of Winter and like inquire into the location of Summer or whatever, right? And then it makes complete sense in my mind that you collect the party together, and it's a fairy, a frog person, a cat, and like a turtle
Yeah.
going to revive Summer. Well, that might work.
Yeah.
But that's a totally different kind of RPG from what I'm used to. But I get the sense that Daggerheart is supposed to work with that kind of narrative.
I think it would, yeah.
Yeah. And I'd be interested to try that out and then completely wreck the entire game by abusing damage thresholds and like armor
Yeah.
reduction.
Okay. Can I tell you, like the first review, the first comment I read about
Right.
the open beta was someone saying, I used the character creator to make I think it's a Guardian or the other fighter type, and he basically did the same build that I told you about, where you stack armor and then you have an ability
Right,
that can
Like shield
deal
bash.
damage based on your armor.
Yeah.
And apparently he was able to one-shot every enemy.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a play test.
Yeah, sure. And they specifically said the balancing is not in yet, basically. But
Sure. I guess that's what we're here for, to do the balancing, sort of.
Yeah.
There's one more thing I wanted to bring up. And this also, right? I'm sure like next week or whenever we meet again, with this more Daggerheart talk to be had.
Probably.
After we've studied the materials a little bit more.
I see cover, line of sight, and darkness, and I am curious.
Oh, I'm gonna have a field trip with this.
After what D&D did with
I know.
light and obscure.
I have a lot of questions,
Oh.
but it would not have been satisfying to just give the PDF a cursory glance and then have like half knowledge now. And next time, we'll go deep on that.
377 pages are waiting for you.
Well, challenge accepted. But this was also in the one shot, and I noticed it, and I wonder what you think about it.
Oh wait.
Yeah,
They have-
please.
I'm just seeing a heading here. Playing blind, deaf, or mute characters.
Okay, here we go. Okay, this might be. Want to take a break?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. And when we get back, let's talk about blind characters in Daggerheart. We'll be right back.
See you in a bit.
And we're back
Hello.
with more Daggerheart.
Yes.
So, blind, deaf, and disabled people, what was it?
Yes. So the heading is additional player tools, and then there are three subheadings: adjusting abilities and spells, playing
Right.
physically disabled characters, and playing blind, deaf, or mute characters.
All right. I mean, I don't want to do live PDF reading here, but maybe.
Well, section in progress.
Oh, really? Okay.
Combat wheelchair coming soon.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm very intrigued. I mean, it's cool already that they have this section at all.
They even have pictures. I think
This is what a blind person looks like.
there's a dragonborn with like a mechanical arm.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool. I was sort of talking about this in the video I made about experiences, right? And like, are they supposed to be, can they be negative things? Right? If you're missing an arm, can that be an experience? And with that, do you get a bonus? Like, and also, I mean, other games do this, but could I like buy more experiences if I also take a negative one?
Yeah, I still don't really
Yeah.
know what experiences even are.
Yeah, I need to read the chapter on them. I'm sure they have one and it's all explained.
Yeah.
Next week we'll talk about that. And whenever they fill in these sections, we can talk about disabled people representation in Daggerheart, I guess.
What I actually noticed at the very start of the document, the second headline is changelog, which I haven't been part of any TTRPG betas or anything, but I really like that. Just having a changelog and telling the testers what's happening. I love that.
Absolutely. And I wish they would just put up the entire PDF on a GitHub as a LaTeX document. And I could just pull it. And instantly they would have my pull request. Here's the good version of Daggerheart, which I forked. And look, it's got nuclear weapons for rats now.
Yeah, and
here's
also,
the Warhammer
I deleted
remix.
Gnomes.
Oh, yeah. Did they have gnomes? They don't, right? They just
I
had
don't
the
think so.
fairies. Yeah, see? They know what's good.
You monster.
So the thing I wanted to bring up before the break was that I was very interested to see how fear is being used. And that was also, in combat, that was very interesting. And there seemed to be quite a bit of options, right? Fear, of course, being, saying this for us now, but also for possible viewers, there's the duality dice is the basic resolution mechanic of Daggerheart. You roll 2d12, one of them's a hope die, one of them's a fear die, and simultaneously you have to beat an obstacle. I think that's become clear by now. And also orthogonal to whether you beat it or not, which of the dice comes up higher will determine whether the entire roll is hope or fear. And if it's hope, the player character who rolls gets a hope resource. And if it's fear, the DM gets a fear resource, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if the DM has some kind of limit, but of course they will probably generate about 4 times as much as the players generate. And they end up with a bunch of fear. And you can use fear apparently for all kinds of things. Of course, I don't know the full list yet, but I just noticed that Mercer in the one-shot was using it, for instance, to give himself tokens during a fight. Not entirely sure, what you can then spend those tokens on, but...
It's just action tokens?
Well, he used them for. So first of all, let me finish the thought and say the currency conversion was like 1 fear to 2 tokens.
Okay.
I don't know if that changes, maybe for tougher fights or, it's just interesting that exists. It's not 1-to-1. And then the way I got it was he was spending tokens to deal additional damage, increase damage that he was dealing, spawn additional enemies during the fight. Like all kinds of stuff, basically, right?
That's cool.
Well, I guess I'm a total negative Nancy today because I agree that in general I like this resource and like mechanizing sort of DM moves, right?
Yeah.
And what they can do, and I'm into that stuff. I think it's just some of the specific things that the tokens were spent on, I'm just from the DM perspective, I'm not super hot on. Specifically, just like spawning additional enemies and stuff. Just
Really?
in my experience, once the fight is going and DMs bring in additional enemies sort of whenever they feel like, it feels really cheap. And I've seen this from both perspectives, like from the players, they feel a little bit cheated when you bring in additional goblins when the fight is halfway over, and from me being a player, it just feels like the DM, I guess, noticed later that he didn't balance the fight hard enough, and it's like ad hoc balance after the fact. And it's just the basic problem I have with it is that then it ends up coming down to DM fiat, right? And just okay, did we are we going to win this DM or not? You decide, right?
Yeah, but Marius, that's always the case.
Yeah, but the illusion. No, it's depending on how you.
Yeah, I know.
You're kind of right, but also kind of not, because and this will come down to preference, right? And DM's playstyle and all of that. The thing is, this is my main gripe with that. I think me as a DM, I don't want to have to make those decisions anymore, because I want to have fun, and fun to me means playing to find out what happens. Isn't that one of their principles? It might be. I don't know.
I think
it
so.
might as well be. But I, as a DM, also want to find out what happens, and that means to me not necessarily deciding at each moment what's going to happen. This sort of the longer I played these games, the more I have sort of fit into this mold where I wear basically two hats. This is the designer hat, which is before the game starts, where there I really want to think about balance and how to challenge players and all that stuff, and want to have cool, interesting fights. But then once I start playing, I want to put the designer hat away and just use the DM hat, right? And I guess the OSR has this term, the referee, right? And that's kind of what I'm getting at, where you're not really the dungeon master, you're just the referee applying the rules in a fair way, which is also an illusion, right? You're still definitely guiding the narrative. But I just, I don't want to have to decide, okay, this fight was too easy for you guys. Here's some more goblins. I just, in that case, I want the players to feel successful and feel like, yeah, okay, you really outsmarted me here.
Yeah, okay. I guess in Daggerheart, that would actually be the decision, because I'm still thinking, well, you can totally, as a designer, decide that at turn 2, these many enemies of these types will enter the fight, regardless of what the players do.
Oh yeah, I can do that also with my designer hat on, right? If I do that before the game starts, and then during the game, okay, this is just, it's a set piece fight, this is how it's gonna develop, I'm totally fine with that, right? Because then I don't have to make any more decisions once it starts.
So the problem here is that you do not want to make that decision in the fight.
Yeah.
And I get that.
But that's very specific to that one, bringing in more enemies. That's a strong choice, and there's a lot riding on that, right? It's also, it feels a bit lame because as a player, I would probably make it a point to kind of scout things out and get an impression. How hard is this encounter? How many people are we fighting? And of course, you can't be 100% on that all the time, but it's just, that's one. I don't know, that rubs me the wrong way, apparently. But of course, you could also opt not to do that as a DM. And there seem to be plenty of options to spend tokens. And I don't have that much of a problem with just increasing damage or whatever.
Okay. I would say I'm a big fan of adding more enemies halfway into the fight. Mostly because I'm playing with you, and you tend to just control everything there is. So it's a great way of counteracting control spells.
Right.
And also in general, I set the number of enemies that will join the fight before actually playing the fight, because I enjoy being a designer that wants to kill the players, and then being a very nice DM and allowing you guys to do basically whatever you want as long as it's
Right.
vaguely within the rules, and seeing how you figure out how to get out of that situation. And I generally enjoy that, but I see your point that giving the option might be dangerous.
It could feel frustrating and cheap
Yeah.
if applied wrongly. But I'm still intrigued by the whole mechanic.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of ways to do this the right way, I think. The other thing about it that I'm just thinking about, I don't have a strong opinion on this yet, but I just find it interesting that you basically this is just a randomly generated resource. Like there's no influence or very little. Of course, that Demon Frank character dude I made does this, right? But there's
Yes.
in general, as I see it, no way for the players to influence how much fear the DM generates, right? I mean, you're just going to roll as much as you roll at your table. That's going to vary from table to table a little bit, but I mean, I guess you could do that. Just play in a way where you're rolling as little as possible so the DM doesn't generate fear.
Well, yeah,
But
the
it's going to be
DM
50-50, right?
Yeah,
So
also the DM kind of decides how much you roll.
yeah.
So, yeah.
He can always get more fear if he wants.
Yeah, but the players have a lot of options to generate hope, right? Like that was...
They have more options for that, I'm sure.
In the
yeah.
cards that
Yeah.
I've read, there were like that was like maybe a quarter of the cards were just, hey, you generate hope. Hey, you generate hope and heal stress. Stuff
Yeah, I
like
think so. I mean, the wizard at least had a mechanic that let him generate additional hope.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and it continues like that in the higher levels. For I read the wizard,
Right. Mm-hmm.
or some of them at least, and what is it, Guardian, and both of them had lots of ways to generate hope.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be the main resource.
Yeah.
I like all that stuff.
So I would say the argument is that yes, you cannot influence fear, but you
Yeah.
can counteract it by hope, and you can influence how much hope you get.
Sure,
Right.
but I would say those currencies don't convert, right? They're not really commensurate. You can't really compare them,
Sure.
right? Like, I mean, okay, I don't know yet what the DM is doing it, but it seems to be completely asymmetrical to like, player abilities. Like I use hope to like cast spells and stuff. The DM seems to, he can create a new entity out of nothing with the fear,
Sure.
spawning enemies. And
So
stuff.
can you with hope.
Well, okay, sure, that's fair. But I'm assuming that
because
there
there's
are
a spell.
summoning spells,
Yeah,
like at higher levels. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but I see your point.
But I don't know yet, right? But it might be sort of symmetrical, and then that will be interesting. But I'm expecting that the DM sort of has a much more leeway in the way he uses fear. And it's just it still stands that there's going to be a constant rate at which fear is generated.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's no point here that I'm making. It's just something I'm observing, right? And it's an interesting dial to adjust, I feel, right? It's I don't know. It just gets me thinking, right? Could you have like more high intensity dungeons where you design it in a way that people roll a lot more, so more fear gets generated, right? And then that's a more intense, fast-paced style of play because suddenly the DM has all this fear. I mean, they're going to do something with it.
Yeah.
Right, or you could have, an adventure where you don't roll as much, and then the DM doesn't have as much fear, and then he can't do as much. It's just something I want to try out and play how that feels.
Yeah. I honestly have no opinion yet because
Yeah.
I really don't know how it plays or what even the options are to use fear or hope. So I don't know, but I see it as an interesting aspect of the gameplay.
And here I remember now. This is perfect. This way we can put a ribbon on the Daggerheart discussion for today. I just remembered which naming rubbed me the wrong way, and it's Hope. I don't like that name, and I have a very specific reason. This is from watching that one shot because while they kept saying, "Okay, I roll this with Hope," or I think at some point Liam was like, "Oh." I'm pretty low on hope and stuff. And I just like hope has a meaning, right?
But isn't that what he said? I'm pretty low on hope because his character he has
yeah, that's the
low
thing.
resources?
No, I don't think they were hopeless at all.
Ah,
Do you know what I
okay.
mean? There's a mismatch between what that means and how players are, because the resource doesn't make you, like, not having as much of it doesn't make you super desperate. And it's just, I'm sure there's going to be times where, yeah, running out of hope will make you actually hopeless. But in many situations, I feel
It's probably more related, like the hope you have is more related to your HP or your stress levels, right?
and many other things,
Yeah.
sure. And it's just that it doesn't hook onto the narrative meaning of
Yeah.
hope. And same for fear, by the way, right? It doesn't necessarily make you more afraid or make the feeling of it's first of all, it's not necessarily a horror game. It might be a whimsical fairy tale that we're telling.
Anything is a horror game, Marius.
Well, if I run it, sure. But you know what I mean? That just because that fear goes up doesn't mean that, fear is the emotion that is primary right now.
Yeah.
And
I understand.
There's a general, and this isn't Daggerheart specific though. This is a general trend I notice in lots of RPGs. Because I guess you have to name everything, and eventually you're gonna run out of nouns and stuff. What are you gonna do, right? But here's another thing in Daggerheart. Like every class has like spell casting, right? As far as I read it, and like
Yeah, spells or abilities. Which
yeah,
are
but
basically spells.
correct me if I'm wrong. In all like the foundations or whatever, there's like your spellcasting ability is listed, and so rogues
What?
cast spells with agility.
That feels wrong.
Yeah, that's the same. You see what I mean, right? That's an easy fix, though. For me, that's just flavor. They just have to rename them a little bit, like your power source or whatever, like 4th edition did. But and then it's fixed for me. This is just a nitpicky flavor thing. It's just you don't cast spells with agility.
I guess this is still a beta, right?
It
They are
is, and
working.
that's also why I feel it's legitimate to be a nitpicky asshole, because they're literally asking us to break the game and find the stuff that's so rough around the edges. And overall, I hope it comes through that I'm actually pretty excited about this, and I think it's a good game, right?
Yeah. Well, I do want to play it.
Yeah.
Just want to test it out, see how it runs. If the things they try actually work.
Well, we'll see. Maybe we can get something going.
Yeah.
No promises here. We'll see how it develops. Anyway, I guess that's Daggerheart for today, and that might be
Guess so.
might be the podcast, unless you played more Warhammer or whatever, Vincent.
Okay. I did play more Warhammer. The Mechanicus. I think so.
The other Warhammer game. I was thinking of Total War.
No,
but
I'm
you
done
played
with that.
the Adeptus Mechanicus.
Yes. It's. I'm about 40%.
What was the game called again?
Warhammer 40k. I think Mechanicus.
Okay, just Mechanicus. Yeah.
It's still a solid game. The mission structure is identical basically every time. And I'm kind of getting tired of it now that I've played, I don't know, maybe 10 hours.
Right.
But I mean, the lore is still there and it's still fun. And yeah, that's it. What I also played is, and I'm going to look up the name because it's a hard to remember name.
Sure.
Here we go. Balatro.
Balatro.
Yes.
Yeah, I could see why that would be hard to remember.
Yes, I think.
It's a nonsense term.
Well, you say that. I think it's Latin.
Oh.
And I think it describes a jester in Rome.
Oh. Well, Latin is a nonsense language, so I'm still right.
You can't say that, Marius.
I think it was made up to torture German children in gymnasiums.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Don't play that. No. Stream wants to stream something.
Yeah, that keeps happening.
Stop that. Can we just disable that forever? Okay, at some point we can probably.
This is our stream, scrub.
And that's actually very fun, I will say.
What is the game? I have no idea. I've not heard of this.
Okay, there we go. I'm just changing the. Oh God, now I remember. I haven't. The one thing forgot at the beginning was changing the stream title. But whatever, we are still streaming Baldur's Gate, I think.
Well, I feel anyone who joined the stream will have quickly noticed that we are not, in fact, streaming Baldur's Gate.
So it's a rogue-like, not a rogue-lite.
Okay.
It's a deck builder. And the idea is that you start with a normal deck of playing cards, 52, so the 4 suits, and then from 2 to ace. And you build poker hands, so a full house or 3 of a kind, or 4 of a kind.
I love poker.
And you get points depending on the hand you play and the cards that are in the hand, actually. So an ace gives you 10 extra points. And you have a target to it, like you have to hit 600 points.
Okay.
And these targets get harder and harder, of course, and it's always 3 rounds basically, and then the ante increases. So you have small blind, big blind, and the boss battle. And you also, as you go on, at the end of every round, so after the small blind, the big blind, and so on, you get to a shop, and in the shop you can buy more playing cards. That might have special abilities, like get triggered a second time. You can buy jokers, up to 5.
Right.
And jokers might give you more money, for example. So at the end of every blind in every round, you get money depending on how many hands you have left. You have like 3 hands you can play at the beginning, I think. And you get $1 per hand or $2 per hand.
But so far, this sounds like a card game. Like, where's the twist?
It is a card game.
You just enjoyed this card game?
It's
like, maybe we should go join a bridge club someday.
No, actually, the jokers are mostly the twist, I would say, because
it's in the name, right? If Balatro is a jester,
yes,
a joker,
and there are like tons and tons of them. There are like 80 jokers or 100 jokers, and they get really wild. And it feels fairly simple. You immediately get the hang of it.
So wait, what is the thing about the jokers?
So the jokers give you special abilities.
Here we go.
Yes.
Fireball. Spectral blade.
No. It's
now it's a video
game. All point related.
Yeah, okay.
So, for example, if you play full house, right, you need to hit, let's say, 600 points.
Right.
And the full house gives you 30 or 40 base coins or points and a multiplier. So it's a full house might be 40 times 4. And then when you click like play the hand, then it starts adding all the points of the individual cards together and adding these to the points. And then you might have like instead of 40 points, you might have 90. And then it's still times 4. So at the end of that hand, you would have 360 points.
All right.
But then you might have a joker that says, hey, every spade you play gives you a multiplier of +4. So instead of having 90 times 4, you might have a ace of spades, and then it's 90 times 8.
Right. This is it's still just a card game.
Yeah, it is just a card game.
I'm sorry.
I mean, Slay the Spire is just a card game.
Yeah, right? But that has like goblins and stuff, and like you can be a ninja, or like a cool guy who shield slams and builds up armor and stuff.
Sure.
Somehow that excites the 5-year-old in me more.
I mean, this is mostly like the exciting part is when you trigger your cards and you have set it up in a way where they trigger and they trigger again and trigger again.
Yeah, I can see how that is satisfying.
Every time they do something, they trigger and there's a sound effect. So I played around yesterday where I had a joker that said that all 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s get triggered twice.
Right.
And then another that said all even cards give an additional multiplier. And then another card that says all numbered card gives more coins. So when I had if
Right. The
I-
combination of those.
yeah, exactly. And then you have like a full house of 2s and 4s or something, and
All right.
you hit enter, and then it starts rolling. It's almost like what are they called? The
Slot machines.
slot machine.
Yeah, watching them grow. I was gonna say this is for gamblers,
Yeah.
for degenerate gamblers.
Funnily enough, because right there's no money involved at all.
Right.
But the rating agency or whatever
Ah.
still gave it an 18 plus because it's gambling.
It's so addictive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you gamble for salt in the game
Mhm.
because the Romans they used to pay their
No,
soldiers in
just
salt.
points. Oh yeah.
Does it have cool aesthetics though? Are you in like a Roman tavern playing this?
No, I actually, there was a AMA with a developer who's I think just one person
Sure.
yesterday or maybe today, and he described it as pixel graphics, 80 CRT, and interdimensional.
What does that mean?
Well,
Is that true? Would you also describe it in
I
this
think
way?
he hit it on the head. Yeah.
What is the okay? I understand the ATCRT, but where does the interdimensional come in?
Well, it's mostly the backgrounds. Like I'm having here the Steam page is open, and the backgrounds are just swirling vortexes of color.
Okay,
And
Sure.
yeah.
yeah, that explains it, I guess.
Yeah. This
Well.
is just it plays very well. It's again
Bunny_Crimson. Hello.
Hey,
Hi.
welcome to the show.
yeah talking.
Thank you for following at Bunny_Crimson. Bunny_Crimson.
Hey, thanks for following.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah, we're very well hearing about Balatro right now.
Yes. Again, it is simple game, but really enjoyable.
Sounds good, but also not for me.
Yeah,
But that's okay.
I know.
It's okay.
But I played it.
I like
I enjoyed
poker. Maybe we should just play poker again sometime.
Yeah.
Do people play poker on Twitch? Is that
Oh,
a thing?
yeah. There wasn't there a time when they played slot machines
Oh,
on
really?
Twitch, and that was
Is that like against the terms of service
I think
now?
it is. But at
Oh
the
right,
time
they
it
have
wasn't.
like don't people go to Kick or whatever to do gambling streams? Isn't that a
Yeah.
thing? I guess that's not- but poker in my mind is always it's not quite gambling. It totally is gambling, but like, do you know what I mean? There's a bit more skill involved.
Yeah.
And
True.
but I could see a lot of people do online poker on Twitch.
Yeah,
If it's allowed.
I've definitely seen people play
Yeah.
poker online.
But-
Okay, there are like online casinos that have actual people
Uh huh.
playing with you.
Oh, I've
but-
heard about that.
But like you have, like they have cameras set up, so you
Yeah.
watch an actual dealer
yeah.
deal the cards.
Man, and but that's like, isn't there like some huge conspiracy about that where like people were suspecting that some of these dealers and stuff were like trafficked, like victims of human trafficking?
Oh yeah, okay, that would make sense.
Because from like I haven't seen them obviously, but it's like
Yeah.
people were talking about videos where the dealer was looking so fucking tired, you know, and still like mixing the cards or whatever, and shuffling, and it seems so tragic in a way, and people were suspecting, I guess, that they were being forced in some way to or coerced at least to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't
Dark,
watched
man. I'm
a lot
sorry.
of these streams, but that was a bit of the impression that I got, which is also why I couldn't really watch them. Like, I don't know if
Like,
something
what was your
going on.
impression? The
think they
dealer
were
was
just
just unhappy.
Bunny_Crimson. Poker, a really good game.
Yes,
Well, I agree. Yeah, it's kind of my whole point. Why I hijacked Vincent's retelling of Balatro to talk about poker.
you monster.
But you just thought they were tired looking.
Yeah, they were tired and not very happy. Which I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, they are doing a job looking at cameras, and you know, I
Yeah.
understand that it's not the most fulfilling job. That is also fine.
I don't know if I should bring this up, but
Do it.
those Reddit threads, like
Uh-huh.
AMAs by casino people, A-class Reddit content. I love that stuff.
Why? What's going on in there?
Well, it's just
Tell me more.
They just have. I'm not going to retell all their stories, but it's just stories from casinos are just wild.
Yeah,
like
uh-huh.
if they tell what goes on in casinos, what goes on behind the scenes,
Mm-hmm.
talking about how some casino in Atlanta was just a front basically to launder money by the mafia, and they would
Mm-hmm.
come in with huge bags with tokens to trade it and stuff, and just
Uh-huh.
stuff like that. People making huge winnings and then tipping the dealer with 100K and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I just, I don't have better stories than that. It's just I recommend those threads, and you talking to me about dealers and saying they don't have a good time just made me think of that. And I wonder if those are probably very coveted positions in actual casinos at like high stakes tables, being a dealer there, because I guess that can happen, right? That people tip you real big because they're super drunk and just made big winnings and they're in a spending mood, and so they you might walk home with a huge tip.
Yeah.
As a dealer, but if that's not going to happen at the $5 maximum blind table, right? So,
Probably not. no.
yeah, and
Uh-huh.
certainly not when you're doing it on stream with some, guy sitting at home,
Yeah.
gambling over cent
Mm-hmm.
amounts. Yeah. I
Yeah.
guess then you're still working your way up to those big tables.
If you can get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Again, they just didn't look very happy. But who
Yeah.
knows? Maybe they are.
So glad to be on Twitch. Anyway,
Yes.
I think we can call it there. I mean, the podcast. All right. Then we will now transition to actually playing games here on HeMakesMePlay.
What?
Are you up for the Indica demo, Vincent?
Sure.
Indica, the nun-based. We have to download it, I guess. Probably should have done this before.
Oh, we didn't know what we were
It's
planning.
true. It was totally ad hoc. But I feel like we might give it a look. Of course, we've talked about Indica before, the nun-based RPG. I forgot the studio now. I'm sure you're about to look it up.
Old Meter, I think is the name.
Oh, really? Okay.
Wait,
Old
the-
Media. Wasn't the
demo
publisher?
is 17 gigabytes.
Oh shit! Okay. Well, we might play some Balatro while we wait for the download.
Yeah, that's probably like 200 megabytes.
I mean, games are just huge nowadays. It's just how it is.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, the indie games aren't, but I guess this is also. Is this indie?
I don't know what indie is anymore.
I don't know either.
Like if Dave the Diver is an indie game.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
I know. We've talked about that at length. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm downloading
Alright.
Indica,
Cool.
and we are 1% done.
Yeah,
It's
this-
gonna take a while.
I know it's gonna take a while. What do we do in the meantime, Vincent?
I don't know. Let's take a break and figure it out.
Yeah, okay. That's actually a good call. So we're gonna take a break for about 5 minutes, and then we'll be back.
Yeah.
All right.
See you in a bit.
See you then. And we're back while downloading Indica.
Yes, 30%.
But that's just how
We're
it
getting
is.
there.
Yes.
So what do we do in the meantime? Is there some way of...
How about another roguelike that's not... Because I was proposing something behind the scenes, and we didn't decide on it. But I have a different one. And I wonder if that still exists. And can you look up Caves of Qud?
Oh.
Do you know that one?
I haven't played it, but...
I have played it like 10 years ago. Like once. So... And that's tied with the Q, like QUD or something.
Mm-hmm.
Post-apocalyptic roguelike.
Caves of Qud. This is high-end fantasy roguelike epic steeped in retro-futurism, deep simulation, and swaths of sentient plants.
Let's try it out. This is a great thing to do to bridge a gap.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also very curious about it. Does it cost money?
Yes.
All right. That's amazing. I'm so glad for these guys who made it.
Don Solarione, in early access since 2015, say no more.
Holy shit. I probably played it back then.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Actually, I probably played it before.
Caves of Qud. I listened to an interview.
Oh, really?
With... Stop showing me screams all the time, Twitch. I listened to the interview with the two guys that make Caves of Qud and the two guys that made
Dwarf Fortress, right?
Dwarf Fortress.
Yeah, I think you told me about that one. That sounds like a meeting of legends.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, to be a fly on that wall. Yeah. And that, I guess you can be if you just listen to the interview.
Was there a demo? That would be easier than actually having to pay.
I'm totally happy to pay for this game.
Yeah, it's more the logistics of having to pay stuff right now.
Because of the stream. Can't you hide it from the viewers?
Yes.
I mean, I can put in a password here. This is no obstacle.
Thank you for your purchase. Ha!
There you
Easy.
go. Yeah.
Can we download it now? Caves of Qud. There it is.
I remember playing this with ASCII. I wonder if they have graphics by now.
I hope they do.
Yeah. No, that seems to be a standard that is expected of even classic roguelikes nowadays. I remember people were very, let's say, adamant about me and Steffen using graphical tiles in Dwarf Fortress. I remember getting a lot of comments about that.
I mean, it's understandable.
I don't understand it at all. I used to love looking at the Matrix and just seeing, oh yeah, that's a blonde dwarf, that's a redhead dwarf.
Uh-huh. Okay, we're downloading Caves of Qud, which takes a surprising amount of time.
How many gigs is Caves of Qud?
It's 660 megabytes.
What the why is everything so big?
I mean, it's megabytes. It's not even a gig.
I know, but it's just this should be like
Well,
50 kilobytes.
I don't know why it's taking this long.
Because the other fucking game is downloading.
No, that has stopped for
Oh,
the
really?
moment.
Okay.
I mean, we're at 40% for Caves of Qud. It's not taking forever.
Maybe they
I'm
did.
just surprised why it's like it's 600
Yeah.
megabytes.
Maybe they didn't put Caves of Qud on this Steam Prime servers.
Oh, yeah. That's just somewhere
These are somewhere in the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
Some guy.
in a basement
Yeah.
somewhere.
Oh, someone's downloading. Turn the generator
Yeah.
on.
Harry, they're downloading.
Every time that happens, the water becomes cold. Shit, I was in the shower.
Yeah. They have to readjust the satellite dish. Oh man.
I would do that job, by the way. It's like,
What job?
take care of the Caves of Qud server on a Pacific island. Like, even, if the heater fails occasionally. Sounds like a fun, meaningful activity.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, let's see if it actually is once we get into the game. And we're almost done. Over
I-
90%.
I remember playing this and really loving the humor of it, which I'm excited about looking at it now with you, which is why I am. And I also
Thank you for
remember.
following at Monzilla_98.
Hey,
Whoa.
thanks for following.
Monzilla_98. How are you?
Hi.
We're great. We're about to play Caves of Qud. I
Yes.
hope you will join us for this. And as I was about to say, I remember this game being brutal,
Oh boy.
being really fucking hard, and me dying all the time.
Well, that sounds like fun.
Yeah. Well, it's part of roguelikes, right? Losing is fun. I think that's like the motto of Dwarf Fortress.
Yes.
Seriously.
I clicked on start.
All right.
Freehold Games.
That's the studio.
Yes.
Or do they have music by now? Maybe that's the 600 megabytes, all the sound.
I mean, so far there's no music.
But there's a sound. I heard it.
Oh yeah. Okay. I just need to be tapped in. But
Did you
before
resume the Indica download?
that, I think it does so automatically. Yes.
Okay,
It's doing its things.
All right.
Let me
Do some stream
this
magic.
up. Yes.
Excellent.
That's not working. That's perfect.
Oh, do you want to change the stream title as well?
I just did.
Excellent.
Yes. Why is it not? It isn't showing the game. Why is it not showing the game, Marius? This is stupid.
Caves of Qud is too powerful. The renderer they're using is too overwhelming for OBS. This used to be a thing in Dwarf Fortress, by the way. That
What?
the graphics code was too much.
Oh boy.
Because he was like rendering, this is way back in the day, but every little tile of dwarf or like a cat or a chair or whatever was like one quad, right? Like one.
One quad.
Well, a quad is a quadrilateral, right?
Uh-huh.
So because Dwarf Fortress was of course using OpenGL 3D rendering. By the way, I'm just talking while you're doing stuff.
Yeah,
right? That's, otherwise I would
He's doing
not.
great.
I don't think this is a super exciting story. Well, I mean, actually, it is kind of neat that just in general, 2D games nowadays are, I think, usually just, you just use a 3D engine, but you just put basically 2D assets in front of a camera. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. In virtual space. And that, of course, Dwarf Fortress did that as well, but they rendered each individual little dwarf as a little quadrilateral with a dwarven texture. Right, even if it was ASCII, they would render the ASCII to these 2D, 3D assets, and then use 3D acceleration. And back in the day, I think just the rendering code was so bad, it actually had FPS problems, which is just hilarious if you think about Dwarf Fortress.
Yeah, I don't know if it actually shows the game now because currently it just shows a black screen for me in OBS. But I'm gonna tap. Okay, this is a bit too loud.
You can check on a laptop, right?
Okay, shows the game but not your camera. That is fixable. Yes.
Also, I'm into this now. We're gonna play this now for a while. Indica is on the back burner. It's already took too much work to just throw it away.
Oh God, what are even all these options? Oh my God,
I'm loving this already.
Marius, I'm scrolling for literal seconds here.
Oh man. I remember playing this game and creating my
love it.
character and getting extra points for taking a negative choice. And the negative choice was that I had an evil twin, which would haunt me and suddenly come into the game at random points through a portal that opened, and then he would shoot at me. That's the kind of game this is.
Sorry, I'm just imagining. You know how your main opponent in Pokemon is like the nephew or something of Professor Oak?
Sure.
Like he's your rival, right? Now I'm just imagining him turning around and pulling out a gun and shooting.
Isn't that what you do in Pal World? Pal World,
yeah,
whatever. You
basically,
just
yeah.
shoot Pokemon.
You begin your experience and you collect Pokemons, and at some point you get a gun.
They pull the AK out. You just fuck some Glurax
Oh
up.
boy.
Okay. Anyway, so this is Caves of Qud. What are we looking at?
I'm looking at the menu, the options menu, but I think we're good to go with the base stuff. New game, yeah?
Sure.
Okay. I already see installed mod configuration. I like the games have mods.
It's like Skyrim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, character creation. Choose game mode. We have classic. That is a person in a duster and a cowboy hat. Then we have role play, which is 2 people holding hands.
Oh, it's like for us, Vincent.
Then we have Wanderer, which is just a long path going to the horizon where a big building awaits.
This, I'm so flabbergasted by these game modes. What does this mean?
Wait, why the hell is the stream now flashing green? What is happening?
What?
That doesn't seem right.
Okay, maybe some technical difficulties here.
Yeah. No, that's not okay. Why do you do that? That is absolutely not okay.
You would think a game with such low graphical fidelity, as I'm expecting that this has, would not cause such problems.
Okay, can I?
Can you just record the screen?
Yeah. It's not my favorite thing to do,
I
but
know.
I guess. Oh boy. Well, let's try this. Welcome to Behind the Scenes. And should be good to go.
Looks better on the stream.
Okay. It shows OBS and it shows the game and no more green flashing, I think.
All right.
Nice. Okay, looks
All
good.
right. We'll just run it like
So,
this for now.
classic,
So, yeah.
roleplay, Wanderer, and then I see you flashing green, you mother...
Oh, how disappointing.
That is disappointing indeed. And I don't know what causes that. What is... Let me go...
Okay, maybe exit the screen. Maybe it has like graphics options.
Yeah, I'm looking at... Wait, where was that? I saw FPS stuff. Okay, let's try... No V-Sync. Instead 60 frames.
Yeah, I guess that's what I would look at, like refresh rate and syncing stuff.
Yeah. Also, the resolution is now set instead of just unset, whatever that means. I hope it's better now. Is it better now? I don't see any green flashing. Okay.
All right, then let's
try for this.
Go back into the
New game. So we have
mode
classic,
selection. Yes.
roleplay, Wanderer. I don't want to take my eyes off the screen. Classic, roleplay, Wanderer, and finally daily, which I assume is daily challenges.
Sure, where you get like probably the same random seed as other people, and you can compare yourself with them.
What the hell is it showing now? Okay, maybe it's just the stream on the laptop, because seconds ago it was showing. What are you doing? It's okay. The stream on the laptop is showing us looking at Daggerheart stuff. I don't know how it's doing that.
Oh, but that was a while ago.
I know. And then okay, maybe the I think that happened before too. Just loading the page. Does it look good? Stream seems fine. I don't see any issues, so
Yeah.
I'll look out for it and
Sure.
dear
Occasionally
viewers,
glance over.
please scream at us if anything happens.
Yeah.
So I'm for the 5th time now or
Yes.
something.
What are the game modes?
Classic, roleplay, Wanderer, and daily. And
Yeah.
daily is, I assume, daily challenges.
I feel like we should start with classic.
Yeah. It says permadeath. Lose your character when you die.
I said, can you? What do the other ones say? I want to know.
Roleplay,
Yeah.
checkpointing at settlements.
Okay.
Wanderer. Most creatures begin neutral to you. No XP for killing, more XP for discoveries and performing the water ritual,
I love this game already.
and checkpointing at settlements. And daily is 1 chance with a fixed character and world seed. Currently in day 74 of 2024.
Awesome. I love it. I want to start classic.
Makes sense.
Yeah. It's also, when you get to know a game like this, you want to like maybe die and start over.
There's also, we can press R for randomized selection.
Oh, if you want to be random even about the mode.
Sorry.
Yeah, but we pick classic.
Classic. Here we go. Oh, character creation. Choose character type. We have presets. Pick from several preset characters. Once you get comfortable, you can customize them.
Okay.
Then second option is new. Create a new character. Then we have random. Roll a random character. Library. Choose a character from your build library. And last. Replay the last character you play.
I love all of it, but let's look at the presets.
Yeah. Mutated human. Oh, actually, the question is choose genotype. Mutated human.
Mm-hmm.
Mutations. Moderate starting attributes. -600 reputation with the Protus Templar.
I have no idea what that means. That's
Me
awesome.
neither, does it? I don't know. It's colored different. The
It's
Pro-
probably like you
Templar.
don't have a good standing with some factions. Probably with the racist anti-mutant factions.
Probably. Or the humans that don't like mutated humans.
But that would be the racist faction, right?
Yeah, but you said anti-human. The
Oh,
racist
no, I
anti-human.
misspoke. I meant anti-mutant.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Mhm. And then we have True Kin. High starting attributes, access to cybernetics, 20 bonus skill points each level, bonus resistances based on archaeology of origin,
Oh, cool.
and may rebuke robots.
Yes, I've been gushing enough over this. I just love having these cryptic statements that,
Yeah.
rebuke robots. Is that all? Just mutated human or true
Yeah,
kin?
these are the two. I also
Just
I
two,
love
okay.
that you can be mutated
I
and
know.
hated, or you can have cybernetics, high attributes,
know.
extra skill points,
Be
and
an
bonus
Aryan
resistances.
Ubermensch with cybernetics.
The game is already racist. We need to cancel it, Marius.
So it's like, so you can be either a mutant or a cyborg, but I can't be like a wizard.
No, I think this is just the first step.
Ah, you might be right. This is like race selection.
Yeah,
right?
the genotype.
Okay, I think I want to start being a mutant because I want to kind of have horns and stuff.
Okay, choose preset. And the presets are Marsh Tor, Taur, charge-based melee fighter, ability to freeze enemies, highly maneuverable,
Right.
most survivable starting build.
Oh, that sounds good for us.
And most survivable is highlighted in yellow.
Yeah, and then that has horns probably, or a Taurus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What else?
Sort of greenish, surprisingly. Looks more like a dinosaur, honestly.
You have a picture of it?
Well,
Oh, what are you talking about?
there is a picture, but it's very minimalistic.
Sure.
It's pixel graphics and about as big as my thumb.
All right.
So, yeah.
More than I expected, Vincent.
Dream Tortoise,
Yes.
melee fighter, highly armored, emits sleep gas to the disabled enemies.
Oh, that sounds good.
Where's that coming from? Okay, highly survivable starting build. Then we have Gunwing, which I'm immediately intrigued by.
Uh-huh.
This sounds like a Digimon.
I know. Dream Turtle and Gunwing.
Yeah, primarily ranged fighter, quick and maneuverable, flies, highly survivable starting build.
They're all very survivable.
Well, so far. Then we have Star-Eyed Esper, which looks a bit like a punk. Mental-based ranged fighter, effective crowd control and map vision, medium survivable starting build.
Okay, I guess this guy dies quicker. Cool.
We have Firefront, not front with a T, but front with a D at the end. A hybrid melee fighter and mental caster. Ability to set enemies on fire. Causes harvestable plants to grow nearby. challenging starter build.
Whoa. Okay.
And finally, we have hybrid melee fighter and electrical attacker.
Sure.
Burrower and trap setter. Starts with night vision. Challenging starting build.
I think we go the super easy route, and I already said I want horns. So let's just start with the Savannah
Marsh Tor.
Taurus or whatever. Marsh Tor, is that it?
Yeah.
All right. Start with that guy.
Okay. Character creation. Build summary. Attributes. Strength 22. Agility 18. Toughness 18. Intelligence 14. Willpower 16. Ego 16.
Seems balanced. Also, I guess these are the stats. Interesting.
Then we have under the character picture it says Marauder, mutated humanoid. The mutations are freezing ray, and then parentheses hands, multiple legs,
Huh.
amphibious, and then parentheses D in red,
Okay.
just the letter D,
Yeah.
and teleportation.
Yes. That's exactly what I was expecting from our Marsh Taurus. Freezing hands and teleportation. Also, we have like 4 legs, I guess?
Apparently,
At
yeah.
least 3.
Uh-huh.
But come on, it's gotta be 4, right? So we're running around like a weird cow drider mix.
Yeah, also the Indica demo.
Yeah, fuck Indica.
Yeah.
We're playing this now. And we can tell. This sounds super dope. We can like teleport around on our 4 legs and like
Yeah.
freeze ray people with our hands.
Love it. Okay, how do
Yeah.
I actually... Okay, character creation, customize character. Name.
Can we get a random name?
Yes, we can.
Let's just get one.
Okay, can we just continue? Character creation, choose starting location. The options are Joppa, which seems to be a small 4 huts in a like grass or marsh area.
Okay.
A bit of water on the right.
Is it in the south? Do you see the world map?
No, it's just this small
Just
area.
okay.
Then we have Salt Marsh Village. Or even it says recommended for new players under Joppa.
Yeah.
Salt Marsh Village is the same couple of huts in water and grass.
Right.
And it says random village in the salt marshes. Village teaches harvestry. Plus 50 reputation with insects and fish. Start with a pair of crocassins. What?
Maybe that's like moccasins, like shoes,
Maybe?
but out of croco
Okay.
leather. Yeah, because you know everyone in the marshes has croco leather shoes.
Yeah.
Makes
So
complete sense.
The A in the middle is like the whole word crocassins is green, and the A in the middle is light green. I don't know if that's
I
a
don't know.
typo.
That might be a stylistic choice. I don't know.
Then we have Salt Dunes Village,
Okay.
which is again a couple of huts, and then I guess salt dunes surrounding them. Random village in the salt dunes. Village teaches fasting way. Plus 100 reputation with reptiles. Start with an Izakari banner. Again, the A in the Izakari is highlighted different than the rest of the word, even though the entire word is highlighted. Then we have Desert Canyon Village. A random village in the desert canyons. Village teaches wayfaring, plus 50 reputation with equines, tortoises, and vines. How can you have a reputation with vines?
Plant people are a thing, right?
I guess.
I expect. Yeah.
Sorry,
I feel
I'm
like
just imagining
yeah.
our character talking to a vine, like a literal vine. No, they like me.
well, they might have a mouth, the vine, right?
Oh,
and then they can
boy,
talk
yeah.
back, like a Venus flytrap. But I feel like these are all for like character builds where you, I don't know, if you have like assets, mutations that help you in the desert, you might start in one of
Yeah.
those places.
The last one is Hill Village. Random village in the hills. Village teaches butchering, plus 100 reputation with hermits. Start with a blood-stained neck ring.
Like you can have reputation with hermits. Like what, they all have like a
Yes.
telephone network where they like, check in on each other.
Yeah, of course.
Did you see this minotaur? He might be
Uh-huh.
coming your anyway. Let's start in Joppa.
Yeah, I think that's the usual starting village. Creating world. Initializing game environment. Complete. Building world map.
Oh, I love
Building
games that
world
build a
name
world.
Map. Complete. Building world connection maps. Complete. Building mutable world economy or ecology. I can't really see. And game startup. Complete. Moon
Okay.
and sun. Wisdom and will. Quote by Water Vine Farmer's Prayer. Huh. You embark for the Caves of Qud. Press space. I will press space.
Is this our objective? Do we have to find the caves?
I guess so, yeah. Okay. On the 7th of Ulu Ut, you arrive at the oasis hamlet of Joppa,
Right.
along the far rim of Mokrayi, the Great Salt Desert. All around you, moisture farmers tend to groves of viridian water vine.
Ah.
There are huts wrought from rock salt and brine stalk. On the horizon, quartz jungles strangle chrome steeples and rusted archways to the earth. Further and beyond, the fabled spindle rises above the fray and pierces the cloud-ribboned sky.
Yeah.
It's fun reading texts where every second word is
Is made up.
fantasy
Yeah.
word.
But you know why that's a little bit more okay than in a sort of bespoke fantasy novel, in
What?
my opinion, anyway. This I'm expecting that these are randomly generated, and for me
Somewhat,
that
yes.
makes it sort of more okay. I mean, Qud is fixed, right?
Yeah,
I'm assuming
Joppa also seems fixed. and
Probably, but
the fabled spindle feels also
probably, but the surrounding area of blah 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 that might be
Mokrayi,
generated.
the Great
yeah.
Salt Desert. Maybe, yeah. Or maybe these are all fixed and all the
We might be wrong.
these are just general location names, and as soon as we get into Mokrayi, the Great Salt Desert,
Yeah, and
everything is
yeah.
you know.
Well,
Okay,
we'll see.
press space.
Sure.
Look to the, okay. There was a what? There was a like a text. Look to the north, and then something else, and it just scrolled over our screen and vanished to the top. No idea.
Okay.
So we are. Can we move here? Oh, we are down there. Okay. So we are on the
This
map.
is top down
Mhm.
and presumably turn based.
I don't know about the turn-based, but I can tell you that we have a line of sight. So there are things that
Okay.
we cannot see at the moment.
Right.
And the part of the map we see is fixed. So we
Right.
can move on this fixed cutout of the map. And we are standing on the south end of the map currently. To our right are a bunch of farmers on the fields.
Sure.
And to the north are huts and villages.
Presumably we can maybe trade and buy something. Probably food would be a good idea to then head out to the north. I assume.
There's also there's just a lot going on the screen currently. So on the top we have a bar that has our character picture. Then it says our HP 18 out of 18.
Okay.
Level 1 experience 0 out of 220.
Right.
And then next to our character says QROUR Cror,
Maybe that's our name.
possibly. Then I don't know if it's like a loading screen bar or some bar or just a
XP bar?
placeholder. I don't know. Then it says T 25 degrees, probably temperature.
Oh yeah.
Then salted and sated, not salted.
Ah.
We are not salted.
No. It's not your salt level, it's your hunger level.
So sated and wet. Then
Sure.
it says 38 out of 394.
Don't know what that is
Then a
referring
hashtag behind that.
to. Okay.
No idea. I assume we have $32.
Ah. Okay.
Then another one of these loading bars. They might just be not placeholders, but like separators.
Sure.
Then QN, and what's it called? The two dots, one above the other.
Colon.
Colon, yes. 100. MS colon 120.
I don't know what that means.
MS might be movement speed. But I
Yeah,
don't know
probably.
what QN is.
I don't know.
AV:2. Armor value, maybe.
Yeah.
DV:6.
Defense value.
Yeah, maybe. And then MA:4.
Magic.
Magic, yes.
4 magic.
And
Yeah, I have no idea.
then it says Harvest Dawn, 7th of Ulu Ut.
It's a
Then
date.
There is a tent, maybe some half circle thing with a moon on it and like a bit of pink. On
Just
the
showing
other
you
side.
the time of day, if there's sun
Oh
or
yeah,
moon.
right. I said moon and immediately forgot that it was in fact a moon.
Yeah. I think it. This game has a day and night cycle apparently.
Man, I mean, just remembering how I described it, it was so obvious, but I had no idea what I was looking at.
That's what you have me for, Vincent. This is a team effort.
Thank you. And then it says the wonderful word Jopper.
Yeah, a lot of this is totally inscrutable, and that's just part of playing a new roguelike. I'd love figuring this out together with you, Vincent.
Yeah. We also, there's more. We are not halfway done with the interface now.
Keep going.
Then below all that is our life bar and XP stuff. Then we have some toggles. Window lock toggle, minimap toggle, nearby item list toggle, look, wait menu, character sheet. These are all buttons, by the way.
Sure.
Move to point of interest, auto explore, go down and go up.
That almost sounds like this might be playable for me alone. Might have to look into that.
Maybe.
If it gives you a list of nearby items and points of interest, and you can just select from a list, starts being more playable with a screen reader. But okay, that's for me to explore. What else?
Then on the right we have so the main part of the screen currently is the map on the left, or the map in the middle that is slightly offset to the left, and on the right of that map there's a black bar with text on it that says Jopper.
Sure.
And the next line, you embark for the Caves of Qud. And then it says, the zealot yells, look to the north, journey to the 6-day stilt, and pay homage to your saviors. Well, that was the text we saw at the beginning.
Maybe that's just sort of events that are happening in the area if people are yelling and stuff.
I guess. I just don't understand why it just like scrolled across our screen. But okay. And then it says the intro text on the 7th of Ulu. And then Warden Ulrek pets Scesipus or Citipus. CTESIPHUS.
Sure, it's just a pet, probably, right? I don't know either.
And that same being meows.
It's probably a cat.
Probably. And then Warden Ulrek starts to glow.
Yes, as he would at this time of day.
Right.
The warden glows.
And then in the bottom, we have you have no missile weapon equipped, sorry. And below that are also these buttons. These are buttons. We have abilities. Sprint is currently off. We have make camp.
Okay.
Dismember.
For butchering and stuff, sure.
Charge.
Yeah, we can do that as a Taurus. We got 4 legs.
Butcher corpses.
Ah.
Butcher corpses, which is currently on.
Sure.
Freezing ray.
Yeah.
And teleport. And these are also, this is basically our quick access bar.
Yeah.
Because every one of them has a number behind that. And I assume if I press 1, then we sprint.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Okay. What do we do?
Can we look at our inventory?
Yeah.
That's always the first thing I do in these games.
Find out where that was.
Hit I. Or just click the button.
Wasn't there a button here?
There's a character sheet for a button for character sheet, I think.
Yeah. Oh boy, that is quite large. Okay, character sheet. I said it's quite large because it's actually like just the letters are quite large.
Okay.
Strength, agility, toughness, intelligence, willpower.
Yeah, we know those things.
I think, are these modifiers? Yeah, so behind strength it says 22, and then in parentheses +3.
Yeah, sure.
Agility says +1, toughness +1, intelligence -1.
Sure.
Okay. We see our mutations. Freezing ray, 1, multiple legs, 1, teleportation 1, and amphibious D. Mutated human marauder. We have 0 acid, cold, electrical, or heat resistance.
Ah, yeah.
We have 0 active effects. We have 18 HP. Level 1, XP 0. Skill points 0. Attribute points 0. Mutation points 0. And then we can press M to buy a new random mutation for 4 MP
Yeah, once we
mutation
have
points.
points, I guess, which is fun. That's cool that that exists.
And we
But-
can hit space to raise selected statistic or mutation.
Sure. Yeah, once we get level ups. But this is not where the inventory is.
Wait, there's at the bottom 7 for skills and inventory at 9.
Ah.
So let me hit 9.
Yeah.
Okay, that doesn't work. That's great. Does that work? Yes, that works. Okay, we have beer jerky.
You mean beef jerky?
No,
Beer jerky.
bear. Sorry.
Okay, that makes sense.
Bear jerky, 9 servings. We have 10 torches unburned.
Right.
We have witchwood bark times 4, which
Not
is
sure what that is
listed
for.
under meds.
Ah, you can sleep on that, I guess.
No, like medicine.
Ah,
meds.
okay. Mm-hmm.
And then we have underwater container. We have water skin with 32 grams of fresh water and
Sure.
2 empty water skins.
Okay. Water is probably important in this game.
Probably.
Maybe that's one thing we could probably do here, right? Fill up our empty water skins. Seems like a
Sounds-
smart
yeah,
thing to do before heading out. And we had like some amount of money that we might be able to spend.
Yeah.
We can figure out how to trade.
We also are at 38 out of 349 pounds of weight.
Ah, that's weight, of course. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's also cool about playing a Taurus. You can probably carry a bunch of stuff.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's an easy starter build.
That's right.
Okay, what else? Equipment.
What we are wearing? Are we wearing anything? Just a
okay,
loincloth
so
and a
it
nose
lists-
ring.
It lists all our body parts. So body, head, face, one on back, right arm, right hand, left arm, left hand, right missile weapon, left missile weapon, one on hands, 4 feet, hind feet, thrown weapon, floating nearby.
We're just a cow. We're just playing a cow.
And we
Yeah.
are wearing on our body furs. We have a lit torch in
Ah.
our right hand.
Okay.
In our left hand, we have a slender bronze battle axe.
Nice.
And then there's an arrow pointing to 5. So there's maybe like piercing damage, 5 or something. And after that, it's a heart with 1d2. So 2 damage, maybe?
1d2 damage, right?
Yeah, so the 5 would be like attack bonus, maybe.
Yeah, I would assume that. Seems low, the damage for Battle Axe, but okay.
And then we have 1 on hands, ice vapor. In like,
Well, we have freezing hands.
yes, there's a lot going on. There's the I is white, and then the C and Y for icy are light blue.
Do you think they just write anything that has like magical properties like slightly weirdly?
No, because for example, the slender bronze battle axe, the bronze is also highlighted.
Oh, and that's certainly not magic.
No.
Yeah, okay.
But I don't know. Maybe again, this might just be stylistic.
Yeah,
but the
yeah, yeah.
icy vapor is written weirdly in different colors.
Sure.
And after that, there's not quite a square, but what is it called? A square that is tipped on its corner, and then like a diamond.
A diamond,
shape,
yeah.
And a blue diamond, and then a 0 behind that,
Ice, probably.
probably. And then after that, there is just a circle, I guess, and another 0 behind that.
Yeah, I don't know.
No idea. Okay, we have factions. Is the next thing. Oh boy, we are not very liked. I feel. So it goes. How many are there actually? Oh, there are a lot.
Yeah, we don't have to go through them now. It's
Yeah,
okay.
there are like
Yeah.
50.
We just know there are
villages
factions. We have standing with them. That's
yeah, and
cool.
we have basically 0 with everything except dogs, which like us a lot.
Cool.
And what is this? Mopango
I don't know what
is
that is.
is at 150. The Mopango don't care about you, but aggressive ones will attack you.
Okay.
You aren't welcome in their holy place. Okay, and then there are a lot of negative ones for oozes and
Sure.
insects and stuff like
I mean, in other games you've got lots of enemies. It's just here you have the opportunity to make friends with them.
that. And for some reason, village of Joppa, or villagers of Joppa, are at minus 140.
Maybe because we're a mutant. I don't know. But we'll see. Maybe they will talk to us.
The villagers of Joppa are interested in learning. Nice. Quests is the next one. Nothing there. Okay. Journal. You have no map notes. Locations, gossip and law. Sultan histories, villagers histories. Okay, we have not learned anything yet.
No.
Tinkering. You don't have the tinkering skill. Fair. Skills. X proficiency. Okay, it starts with X.
Don Solarione, you aren't welcomed in Crab's holy places lol.
Grab people, grab people.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, who is?
Yeah. I mean, we might be if we really put our mind to it.
I do find it intriguing though, because this implies that all these different factions, like apparently oozes have a holy place somewhere, and it makes me want to go there. Like, don't you want to explore the crab holy place now? Don't you want to see what that looks like?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
But returning to skills, we have X with X proficiency, and then it says 150 SP, silver pieces
skill
maybe,
points.
or skill points. Yes. Cleave 19 strength, and below that 100 SP, charging strike 19 strength, cleave charge dismember. Oh, and they are
Might be stamina points. How much energy it costs to use that skill? I don't know.
no, I think skill points.
If you want
is
to upgrade
accurate.
it, yeah. Okay.
Because they're also the stuff that after the name is highlighted in green or red or
Okay.
yellow. And I think, for example, cleave says 19 strength. So I think if we had the points, which are currently highlighted in red, we could buy that.
Mm.
And charging strike says 19 strength. Cleave, which is highlighted red because we haven't bought it yet, and charge dismember, which we have apparently, and that is highlighted in, or that's not highlighted in any way. That's
Sure.
just grey. And then we have, just going through them, hook and drag, decapacitate.
Decapitate?
Yes.
That's a cool one. Chop heads off.
And berserk. And then the next point is cooking and gathering. And I assume there's a lot. Yeah, there's just a lot.
Yeah.
But the main things are
We
cooking.
need berserk, man. I feel we
Yes.
need that.
But that needs 29 strength.
Okay, we'll
and
get there.
dismember, which we have.
Yeah.
Very nice. We have cooking and gathering. That's a skill area. We have tactics, wayfaring.
If you hover over them, does it explain them?
Wayfaring says you are skilled at wilderness survival.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And tactics, you are aware of basic combat tactics.
Sure. Very helpful. Well, it's okay. We
and then,
will learn this by
like
doing.
hurdle, for example, the one directly below tactics says you receive no penalty to your DV while sprinting, and you can jump without interrupting your sprint.
Okay.
So if we ever actually get skill points and don't just immediately die, we might look into this.
Which is not guaranteed at
Yeah.
all.
There's also a lot of wilderness lore under wayfaring, and then acrobatics, bow and rifle, cudgel,
Cudgel, yeah, like clubs and
Yeah.
stuff.
customs and folklore, single weapon fighting, multi-weapon fighting, endurance, physic. You are skilled at physicking.
Sure.
Nice. Heavy weapon, long blade, persuasion, pistol, self-discipline,
Cool.
shield, short blade, tinkering, and that's it. Okay.
All right.
And then we are back to character from the very start. Okay. I think that's it for our inventory.
I'm ready to do some stuff.
Yeah.
I've got a good overview now. Now we need to try stuff out. So first quest is get some water.
Mm-hmm. Let's go to the water. That weirdly blinks.
I mean, they talked about like water vines here and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can get some from them.
That's just water. You pass by a water vine. Yes. Pass
Okay.
by a water vine.
How do we interact with stuff?
I don't know, Marius.
Okay, but like the interface, do you get a general impression that you're supposed to click on stuff, or?
I just clicked on the map and it moved forward.
Okay.
You wade through a pool of salty water.
Oh, that's not drinkable.
No.
Let's
And
get out of that pool.
Our character is blinking. I'm blinking with like the characters there, and then there's for a moment there's a tilde there. Like
Maybe
the
because
symbol?
there's multiple things in the same tile.
Maybe.
That's how it works in Dwarf Fortress.
Can we just go? Yeah. Okay. We're out.
So I guess you can click to navigate.
Can we? Okay. Now I'm standing in front of a farmer. What happens if I walk?
Attack. If you just click on him and you chop his head off. Is that how this works?
I was afraid that would happen, but no. We just switch places with him.
Ah, okay.
Or,
Can we talk to the farmer?
if you tell me how.
What happens if you right click?
Then it opens like a character information thing. Water vine farmer, neutral, average. The tatters of a sweat-stained kufiya thrash in the wind from where they hang about the farmer's neck. Clasped in her gnarled brown hand is a curved vine reaper of iron, with which she counts moisture-swollen wafers from the viridian plant called water vine.
This is exceedingly well written. Not what I would have expected.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds almost poetic.
Are they all? Okay, they have different equipment. I'm just clicking around on people.
Sure.
Okay.
It's probably
there's,
randomly generated.
Mehmet, neutral, impossible. Years of the desert have taken their toll on his body, but he commands your ear with his voice like few other men, and you wonder what sovereignty he might have come to were he not born a moisture farmer.
I bet he has a quest. He's got a name.
He is yellow. Loved by the villagers of Joppa, disliked by grazing hedonists for casting doubt on their beliefs, hated by pariahs for impersonating one of their leaders, equipped, woven tunic, steel wine raper, sandals. And then it says perfect under that.
All right.
I might be the condition or something.
No, he's just perfect. In every way.
Maybe, yeah. Oh,
It's a
wait.
cosmological determinant
Do we leave
statement.
water? Yes. Oh, cool.
What's going on?
So, because we stepped into water,
Everything filled up with the salt water?
yeah, we're drowning now.
No, our water skins, did they automatically fill up?
No, I don't think so. But we just left a trail of water.
Ah, okay, we are sort
really?
of wet. Yeah, you gotta be careful. It might make your shit rust.
Yeah.
But we don't have that much. And, like,
No.
does bronze rust?
I don't think so.
Yeah, right? It's like
Doesn't
rust
oxidize.
proof.
Still, how can we talk to people?
So you have the buttons at the bottom for interactions, right? But none of them said, like, talk, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, these are just the abilities. Make camp, dismember, charge, butcher corpses, freezing ray, teleport. None of them seems very talkative.
Um,
Can we? Oh, okay. I can just click on them. Okay.
With which button now?
Left click.
Ah, and you, okay.
I clicked on Mehmet.
Maybe because the other ones didn't have any conversation options. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
So what comes up now?
Live and drink, friend. May you find shade in Joppa.
It's kind of like Dune and stuff, right? With the water farming and water being so important.
Yeah, it's just that there's water around here.
But there was salt water.
True. Yeah. We can ask. What can you tell me about Joppa? I am in search of work. Number 3. Your thirst is mine. My water is yours. Begin water ritual. 1 gram of water. I don't know.
What is that?
Number 4. Let's trade. Begin trade. And live and drink.
That's probably goodbye. Have him tell us about Joppa.
What can you tell me about Joppa? You would be wise to speak with Elder Irodet. Look for his hut to the north.
Okay.
And we can ask him for work or leave.
Ask him for work.
Some critters are eating our water vine. Farok claims he saw one slinking around a vine patch. Ugly little thing, he says. Pale white, 8 legs, an ear-splitting whine. I noticed a bit of red dirt in the water vine pool. The same we find in the soil at a nearby cave to the north, we call Red Rock.
Ah.
Travel to Red Rock and kill as many of these critters as you can. Bring back the corpse of one too. Elder Iridat will reward your efforts.
There you go. This is
And
what
we-
I like. Straight to a quest.
We can say, I will perform no such peasant task. Or we can say, I will do as you ask.
I will do.
You have received a new quest. What's eating the water vine?
Very good.
Press space, yes. Okay. I guess we go further north.
Yeah, we could have like trade with them, but I don't know. We can also like talk to the elder.
Yeah, let's find out. Is anyone here? The
I would be interested in getting some water though.
There's the elder.
Oh yeah, let's talk to him.
Hello, elder. No, don't switch places with me. Live and drink, wayfarer. Welcome to the oasis of Joppa. Here you will find shade and victual, along with other provisions to help you better scour the rust caves for treasure. Above all else, you may drink of our fresh water and quench your thirst.
Ah, that's very hospitable.
It is. We can ask, what can you tell me about Joppa?
I probably already heard that.
No,
Actually, well, click that because the other guy talked about the elder. The elder must say something different.
The others are, let's trade, and your thirst is mine, my water is yours. Begin water ritual, 1 dram of water.
I'm so curious what that means. Yeah,
It does sound very Fremen-like.
it does. Yeah.
So what can you tell me about
Yeah.
Joppa? Joppa is an oasis hamlet nestled between the eastern reaches of the Great Salt Pans and the jungles of Qud. We are a community of water vine farmers. These groves lie along some of the few tracts of land tame enough to grow water vine.
Yeah, very
we can
peaceful.
ask, what can you tell me about Qud?
Yeah.
Qud is a strange and terrifying mesa to the northeast. Her tainted rivers breed life in all its motley forms. Her poisoned jungles shelter priceless relics of a forgotten past. But that is just the half of it. For Qud's most precious treasure, and her most hideous children, lie within the innumerable chrome caverns beneath the scarlet loam. To ply those silver hollows, a spry adventurer's dream. The years have wizened me beyond such foolish ambitions, but you be not deterred, so.
Right. So there's a super cool, probably sci-fi place
Mm-hmm.
deep in the bowels of Qud,
Yes.
and we have to go there. But we're gonna have to work our way up.
Don Solarione, when you perform the ritual of water, Stilda shows up and says that you shouldn't waste water.
Are we wasting it if it's a ritual of water? No. Stilgar, shut up. We're doing very important things.
Stilgar,
here.
you're not part of this game.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
Go back to your own desert.
Go back to Arrakis, home of the spice.
Yeah. Anyway, my thanks, Elder. Live and drink.
All right. So that's it.
Mm-hmm. Do we want
Okay.
to trade with him or anything?
Yeah, try trading.
Let's trade. Okay. We have bear jerky and torches and all that stuff, and he has vinewood sap mask, books with the names of Me. Why do you?
What?
The other ones are On Strange Limbs, 4th edition, and The Lake of Lucerne.
That seems the most normal. What was the first one? Me? Why? What?
Me? Question mark. Why do you?
I want to read that book. How
Yeah,
much is it?
It's $285.
Shit, we can't afford it.
Oh, why do you tease us so?
Well,
Damn
now we have
game.
something to work. We have a goal
Uh-huh.
that we can set for ourselves.
There's some food, wine wafers, and yuckweed stem.
Yeah.
Some bandages, luminous horseshroom tonic,
Mm-hmm.
and 4 water skin with 4 grams of honey.
Huh. How much is the honey?
37.
Can we afford that? How much do we have?
We have 32.
Shit. Just barely. Okay, can we just buy some food?
Sure. You can either buy wine wafer for 3 cents per, or the yuckweed stem for $28.57.
I want to stem. That sounds good.
Okay, how do I actually buy that? This makes no sense. Okay, we can escape with... Well, we can use escape to exit. We can... The button says Qud slash... And then just some...
Acquire? No.
No, AKUT, and then a slash, and two...
I think these are the buttons that you can push. A.
Yeah, but
K-
what is that button, Marius?
Oh. Well, AKUNT. Probably to go up or down in the selection.
No, this is one button. That's the name
Oh.
of a button, and also I will say the buttons are in German. So there's also Leer for action, which means Leertaste space.
Ah, because we are German. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we are German, Marius.
Yeah. Yes.
Perfect response.
Okay, I can see why you're confused.
Okay, I'm just gonna hit Layer just for actions and see what happens here. Select an action, look, or escape. Okay, can we look at the thing? Ah, perfect. Yuckweed stem. Children cry at the crisp snip of yuckweed stem, as they have for hundreds of years. They bawl and flail and writhe from their mother's grasps, deaf to reassurances of the plant's medical potency. Snipped and crushed, the stem tastes acidic of their tongue, on their tongues, and their faces contort in children's agony.
These mundane item descriptions are so incredibly purple. Like, what is going on?
But they sleep better at night, so their mothers say. I don't know.
Somebody wrote the shit out of these descriptions.
So good. Yeah. So good.
Just imagine all this read in the voice of the Disco Elysium narrator.
Oh yeah, love it. Okay, can we... Ooh, okay, I somehow added a 1 to it. I don't know how. Wait, the dollar sign is also drams? Huh?
How is that spelled? Grams or drams?
D-R-A-M-S.
Okay, that's just the currency, I assume.
Yeah, but why is it also the name of the water?
They
Like
probably
the
water
volume.
is equivalent to the currency, right? They use water as the currency, maybe.
Oh, okay, yeah, that might be. And then the honey is 4 drams worth of
Yeah.
honey. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, we can buy 1 stem, and let's figure out how to do that actually.
But I guess now we're buying it for water, so we might go thirsty.
That's true. Do we want that?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong about this whole water as currency thing.
Okay, let me just instead try to buy a wine wafer
Sure.
for 0.03 drams.
Yeah, go for it.
Actually, 0.029 grams.
Oh, it just went down. It's a buyer's market.
Yeah, but how do I do that? Okay, I'm clicking O for offer here. You'll have to pony up 1 dram of fresh water to even up the trade. Agreed? No. Okay, but that confirms it's 1 dram of fresh water.
Yeah, we haven't. Now I don't want to trade
Okay.
because I was looking for water originally.
Yeah. Do we want to perform the water ritual?
Yeah, we need to know what that means,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, do it.
Your thirst is mine, my water is yours. Begin water ritual. 1 dram of water.
Sure.
You share your water with Elder Irodet and begin the water ritual. Your reputation with the villagers of Joppa increased by 100 to -40.
Wow. I guess it's just a friendship thing.
I guess. Yeah.
Just share some water.
I mean, I'm still happy to do it with the Elder.
Yeah.
Because they dislike Elder Irodet, your reputation with the Gyrsh decreased by 50 to -850.
Ah, interesting. But this is how you make friends and join cliques.
And enemies. Yes.
Yeah.
Because they dislike Elder Irodet, your reputation with the villagers of Avaf decreased by 50 to -50. Because they admire Elder Irodet, your reputation with the villagers of Dabel increased by 100 to 100.
How many are those of these are going to come up?
We're done.
Ah, okay. Well,
Your reputation with the villagers of Joppa is -40. Elder Irodet can award an additional 100 reputation.
There's a limit to how much you can do this with people.
Yes.
Okay.
But we are now in a different submenu. Number 1, share a secret with me, water brother. Minus 50 reputation.
Huh.
Number 2, would you teach me your ways? Learn harvestry. Minus 50 reputation.
Oh, that sounds good.
3, would you share the favorite dish of your people? Learn to cook apple mats. Minus 50 reputation.
Huh.
Number 4, I would ask you to join me, water brother. Minus 668 reputation.
Oh, that's cool. You can get like followers.
And live and drink, water brother. And the water ritual.
I want to learn how to harvest. It seems useful.
Let's see if we can do that. You don't have high enough reputation with the villages of Joppa.
But we have like minus 40, right?
Yes.
So we could go up to 40 if we get another 100.
60.
You're right. But that would be enough to harvest. So I guess.
I don't know. I guess. I
If
mean,
it
if
said
we-
it costs 50.
it
I'm
costs
assuming.
50 and we need positive reputation,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. Then
Well,
we would be correct.
we could try it.
Well, for now, live and drink, water brother,
Yeah.
I guess, because all the others are grayed out.
Yeah. We can also wait till we have a bit more water to do this again.
Yeah.
I can also. I'm also just kind of curious about heading out. We've spent some time in the town yet.
My thanks, Ella. Live and drink.
Yeah.
And then, okay. Where do we actually go here?
So we. I mean, on this map, I have no idea. Presumably, when you hit the edge, you can world travel. That's how it usually works.
Yes. Okay, we can go to the left and the right, and the map actually travels with us to some extent. Oh, okay. And at the edges, there's just a row of arrows, and that signifies that, okay, this is this changes things, basically.
I say we go north because Mehmet said there's this cave in the north where we have to get rid of these critters, right?
There's a okay. So there's a small pool of water surrounding a statue. I clicked on it, and it says something, and now it says, you note this piece of information in the Sultan History's Reshep section of your journal. Okay, what did it actually say? Shrine to Reshep, the last Sultan. Did I say that correctly? R-E-S-H-E.
I have no idea if you said this made-up
Reshep.
word correctly,
Yeah.
Vincent.
The shrine depicts a significant event. The shrine depicts a significant event from the life of the ancient Sultan Reshep. In 3 AR, Reshep cleansed the marshlands of the plagues of the Gur and taught Abram to sow water vine along its fertile tracks.
Awesome. I hope this is randomly generated, right? Like in Dwarf Fortress, where they generate legends in the lands.
Okay, let's go to the north, I guess.
Yeah. I also, by the way, can totally see. This is unusually deep for roguelikes. At least ones that I know. If you go back in the day, like I don't know, NetHack or Angbad or whatever, I just feel like this has much more depth to it as far as the narrative goes.
Yeah.
Right, with those descriptions and stuff.
Yeah, they are so well written too.
Yeah, and it's just, they've put effort into this, and I can totally see why you would want to maybe play the role-playing version of this, right? With checkpoints and where you don't die all the time and you can explore the world and build up your journal and all that stuff. So that's cool. Haven't seen it done like that in a roguelike. So yeah, now I want to go north.
There's a sign. So there's a path that leads north, and next to the sign, next to the path, is a sign that says, a terracotta board has been painted with ochre and ground malachite. It reads, to graveyard and shrine. Wait, £1. We could take...
Oh, you can't take Can we beat people with the sign?
I don't know, maybe we can't take it, but I love
let's
the idea.
not be so belligerent.
Oh, is there a cat? Thesaurus.
Yeah, it was
One-
petted earlier.
One star-ribboned night, a ray cat crossed the marshy lawn and wandered into Joppa. Right. The water vine farmers, wakened by the joyful cries of a small girl, gathered round to revel at the favorable omen and extol the generosity of the beetle moon. Since then, Sisyphus has spent his days curled under the shape of rhinestalk huts and sauntering over dirt paths. So long as he's approached with care, he welcomes the hands of friends and strangers alike. And it says, phosphorescent, base demeanor docile, physical features bite, claw, and perfect.
All right, time to test out our dismemberment skill.
Marius?
I'm just kidding. It's probably very bad to kill this cat, but you know they want you to.
Can we pet it?
The guy did earlier, and then he started glowing. So maybe this is good luck if you can pet it.
Okay, we can chat, we can attack, we can look, we can pet,
Yeah,
we
pet.
can target and show effects.
Pet it.
Pet. You pet the Sisyphus. The Sisyphus mouse.
Sisyphus.
You start to glow.
There you go. We are blessed by the cat.
Very good. On to the north.
Yes.
Building zone. Important tip. You can go to the world map by pressing minus on the numpad or from any surface zone. You can return to the region surface by pressing plus on the numpad.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. For space, yes. Okay. We are still within the farm areas, but there are lots of farms here and less huts. One of these, actually. There are some... Oh, there are wet glowfish swimming in the ponds. Luminescent flicks flit beneath the water's surface. Base demeanor docile. And there's also the graveyard, which we do not care about, I guess. We just want to move on to the north.
Yeah.
You discover Copper Kailina. You note the location of Copper Kailina in the location ruins section of your journal.
Was this the place we were supposed to go to? The music's gotten a
Certainly
lot
sounds
more
like
ominous. But I mean, we have the journal and stuff, right? You
Mhm.
can probably look at that, see the quest that we got from Mehmet.
Yeah. Where is the quest? There's the quest. What's eating the water wine? Travel to Red Rock. Journey north of Joppa to Red Rock. Find the critters.
Okay.
Get a critter's corpse. Return with the critter's corpse.
I guess we have to go further north.
Yeah, and we are basically in a jungle / ruin area.
Well, let's traverse this jungle. Surely nothing bad will be here.
What's that? Wooden bookshelf. Wooden planks are nailed at orthogonal angles, and dust sleeps on the paper jackets.
Huh.
Can we
Can you loot it?
them? Examine a wooden bookshelf. Books. Arch, I was. And that scribes and scries stamping data, volume 5.
Can we loot them both?
Huh? These names are insane. You take Arch, I was. Yes.
And can we read them?
There's nothing on that. Would you like to store an item? Wait, but where's the other one?
Maybe that was all one book.
Oh no, we took both. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Arch I was. What happens? We can read it. We can look at it. We can mark it as important. We can drop it. We can equip it. We can equip it as manual.
Let's equip it and beat people to a pulp with this book.
Yeah.
Let's read it.
We can add notes and show facts. Read. So this is Arch I was. It's sort of like a scroll bathed in moss green. The Soters, one of one's place in Qud, its position as a method of producing waves short enough to understand the saying amongst the most complicated mathematical work he ever did was to start upon this work. I repose there against my western roots and a southeast wind 260 miles.
What?
Okay. There are 2 more paragraphs here, Marius. All Yuri laughing. These are caused by machine folk. Are those who oppose Arable land and the moment our friend may be chemically identified.
Don
This-
Solarione, page 1 of 7 rip.
No.
Oh God,
really?
yes. I
Oh
thought
my
I couldn't
God.
scroll down, but you're right. We can scroll to the left and right.
This
Well-
hasn't started making sense yet.
I say we read that and then we do something.
Okay, we don't have to read
Yeah, I think this is just... This seems almost random, right?
it. It didn't sound. It sounded almost automatically generated.
Yeah.
And not even very well.
No. Be
Yeah.
vested to tell me that immigration would require such intensive logistics. Every part is just under curious in the azure sky. The people cried out in joy. With the north wind, the extreme limits of expressibility.
All right.
Point.
I've had enough. My
From
mind
what
cannot
little
bear
record
more.
remains of our blossoms, growing energy goes into making its tumbling pots, thorn-covered husks,
Okay.
possessed of a turquoise-colored tube. May the ground, because the gyrocopter broke, but every adventure has its effect.
I mean, this might be in fiction, right? That this is the ramblings of a sort of lost mind.
Yeah.
Out in the jungles.
I wonder if it's just it's like some of the pages are rotten, basically, and it
Okay, that
doesn't
might
show
be,
that.
yeah. But I don't think so.
No. Let's look at that scribe and
Yeah,
Stampede
let's at
Data
least
Volume
see if
5.
they're all like this. I mean, with that title, I'm not. My hopes aren't high.
Rashab lifted the trade square.
Okay, off to a good start.
Oh boy. Rashab lifted the trade square. If you are to be a strong one, and
Oh,
I now
God.
know. One might assume they were a more elaborate form of a glass tube.
So hey everyone, we're Caves of Qud, we're in early access. We hope to improve. This is so baffling because the other writing was so good and this is
Yeah.
such trash.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
But I mean, it's still great.
No, I mean I love that they did this, but it just makes me wonder: is everything like this, or are they going to be like actual gems hidden in like a massive amount of drivel? You know what I mean? Like an actual
yeah.
book, and then the real book with the real story in it that gives you like a skill point or whatever, and you just have to find it. Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Hopefully we can trade these to the elder.
wait, there was a highlighted word. What's that? Did I just miss that?
I also love how we left the settlement and then went into the jungle to stand in front of a bookshelf for 10 minutes.
Yeah. I'm honestly surprised there are bookshelves here, because there are
Yeah.
more. There's another one that has spread smooth across the metal and wings glistening on her basalt chips. Volume 3.
Yeah. Okay. we will no longer read books from now.
I'm just
It's-
gonna take all of them.
Yes.
And visual instrument and sensory, number 1.
Okay.
I'm
still not intrigued to read this.
That one.
Oh,
sort of
sure.
intrigues
Okay.
me.
Look at it. Yeah.
I am required to know that what is called by dwellers Goak. Okay, never mind. I mean, maybe, right?
No.
I was hoping. There was is that? No, this is a shrine to Cupor II, the foreign spectre. The shrine depicts a significant event from the life of the ancient Sultan Cupor II.
Is that the same one we found earlier?
Nope, I think it's
a different sultan. Okay.
Early in 5867 BR, after murdering a popular rival with a revolver loaded with a single bullet, the Sultan of Qud abdicated the throne. Because of Cupor II's reputation for murdering someone by cooking her for sustenance, she was chosen as a successor.
Okay, that felt randomly generated,
Yes.
but good.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
You note this piece of information.
Oh, Taurus is taking notes. Yes. For cooking. Okay.
There's a bedroll on the ground. A goat
Oh.
wool bed fastened with canvas ties.
Obviously,
I say,
we're going to steal it.
Can we take it? Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, there are no people around.
No. I bet they're just around the corner, but hey, they shouldn't have left this
No,
unattended.
I don't want to sleep. It's asking us, how long would you like to sleep?
No.
Until waning salt sun, until hint sun, or until waxing beetle moon?
Escape.
No, I want to take it. What? Okay, now giant centipede. Hostile. Average. Shittering legs in the high...
Do you think you went to sleep?
No. That is where the centipede... So the centipede is at exactly the location where the bedroll was.
I was hiding in the bedroll, probably.
I guess.
Oh, surprise.
And we missed with the slender bronze battle axe because I thought it was just a
yeah.
different version of battle.
Oh boy, first enemy. Surprise
Uh-huh.
attack. Can we look at it? Like examine it or something?
Giant centipede, hostile, average, chittering legs in the high dozens. Figure S serve its shining trunk like the spine of a gigantic hominid.
Okay. It said average.
Physical features bite and perfect, which I guess is still the condition. So we just attack it again, or
We
can
could, or you could
freeze
freeze
it away?
hands it.
Yeah.
See what that does.
Let's see. Okay. The frozen giant centipede takes 2 damage from your freezing effect. You emit a freezing ray from your hands. The giant centipede hits twice for 3 damage with its bite.
Oh.
22. What? I don't know what the 22 means, but
Our
we
HP?
took 3 damage. No, we are at 15.
Yeah, okay.
So is it frozen now?
I don't know. You would hope that it gets like slowed down or something.
So instead of perfect, it now says fine. But there's nothing about frozen, but it does every once in a while blink white instead of red. So just continue freezing it or hitting it.
We don't really have ranged attacks anyway, right?
No.
Because I thought we could teleport away and then shoot it, but we don't have ranged attacks.
I mean, we have a freezing ray.
Yeah, you think we can do that from range?
I don't know.
I mean, it's just
try.
you can you teleport away?
Ooh, okay. We get it. I clicked on teleport, and now there's a massive like oval shape of X's on the map.
Ah, that's probably the area where you can move to.
Yeah, but it's based on my mouse position. I don't. What?
Maybe it's random. You pick an area, but you can't pick exactly where you end up.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm willing to try and just click and see where it happens.
Yeah.
Where we go. Okay,
You teleported?
we teleported basically where I clicked.
Dude, that's pretty dope to have this ability.
Mm-hmm. You teleported. You have lost sight of the giant centipede.
Oh.
Okay.
We're confused now.
Okay. Can we find it again? The bedroll is back. That's nice. And there's the centipede, and we cannot freeze ray.
Are you like?
Oh, I think there's a cooldown.
That
it
makes
says
sense.
so freezing ray, and then 14 in blue, and 6 is the number we would have to use to quick accesses. Teleport also has a cooldown of I think 100 rounds.
Is that the cooldown or is it like mana cost or something?
No, it reduces for every round, I think.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe
okay.
every 2 rounds. I'm not sure, but it reduces. It's now at 95,
Right.
and freezing ray is at 30. So I guess we
I
just
think we just have to beat on this thing.
yeah, makes sense to me.
I hope we don't die. When do we run? Like 5 HP.
Okay, we miss. We miss with our torch. Oh, it also says miss with a slender bronze battle axe, 7 versus 10. And same for the torch. And the giant centipede hits 1 time for 2 damage with its bite. 11. Still don't know what that's about, but
Probably it's rolled.
yeah. Hits 1 time for 2 damage, and we miss again.
We're fucking this up.
We did hit once for 1 damage, and we took another 3. We're down to 9 HP.
We should run.
It's injured.
Yeah, but I mean, we deal. I don't know, man. The way this was going, we're gonna lose.
Maybe. If injured means it's around 50%, we're pretty even. But even then, it is, yeah.
I mean, it's been hitting every turn.
True.
But like for what, 2 or 3 damage, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess we can still run. Hopefully, we can still run. We don't really know if it's faster or not.
No idea.
And we've lost our teleport. But I mean, you know, we have to experiment to find out stuff. I say we hit it a bit more, and then we run if
Yeah.
we lose.
Okay. Your health has dropped below 40%. Okay, we are down to 3 HP.
But it's been below 40% for a while, hasn't it?
No, it was at 50%. It was at 9, and now we took 6 damage from its bite.
Oh, no, that's a lot. Holy shit.
Yeah, and it's still just injured. Let's run.
We're
if we
not
can.
gonna kill it in this round, yeah.
No.
We might die here.
Okay, I'm just. The giant centipede dies.
Oh!
It took 18 damage from something. Wait.
What
is that?
was that?
Tarred, scrap-clad hermit. The patchwork of burnt metal and rust-flaked rivets make a gradient of new flesh across the hermit's body. His hair is knotted into a rat's nest and held high by a barret of broken glass. He screams in a tongue of his own invention.
Holy
Equipped,
shit.
weird artifact. Neutral, average. And
This guy's the shit. He just saved our asses.
yeah, he did indeed.
This is so cool. Nothing as cool as this has ever happened to me in any roguelike. Don't you know what I mean? This is such a good narrative.
Uh-huh.
Like we were just this young adventurer going out into the world for the first time. Immediately get our asses handed to us.
Yeah.
And this guy saves our asses in the last moment possible.
Love it. Yeah.
Holy shit. He has to be our mentor now.
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't kill us now.
No, he is neutral.
All right.
Can we go up to him? We can say let's trade or live and drink.
Can we do the ritual of water with him?
Nope.
No,
Those are the
then
only
let's
two options.
trade. Let's see what he has.
Has nothing to trade. Well, thanks.
Wow, he's the strong silent type. He just
Yeah.
doesn't even talk. Just kills the monster that was hunting us.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And
How do we
sits down.
how do we heal?
Probably just wait, but you might eat something or take one of
okay.
those bark things that was like medicine.
We just heal 2 HP just by moving around a little. I guess.
Yeah, I mean you can just sit around. How's your hunger level?
Sated.
Okay.
Up to 6 HP. Okay. There's another bedroll, which I don't trust anymore.
That's probably his bedroll too, right?
Maybe. Okay. Can we cancel that? Okay, I'm just gonna run around through these ruins.
Just don't explore,
Why are we green?
I don't know.
What is that? Like, we have no effects apart from phosphorescent.
I mean, you were glowing after touching the cat.
True. But now we're... Okay, to our left there was music. Like there were notes on the screen.
Okay. Yeah, but before we explore, let's heal up.
I mean, we're already up to 15 HP again. I'm just
Sure.
running around. 16. There's another book. Bookshelf. The sponge bed melding with its name.
Yeah, that's generated. Come on.
Yeah. Ooh, there's something new. Blue thing. Pool of 500 rams of salty water. Never mind. I thought it was like some sort of special thing.
Yeah. I don't think salt water is useful, right?
No. I think somebody just shot at us.
Uh-oh.
We can't see them, but we are at full HP
But where did it come from?
from our left. So I moved from the right of the map to the left, just following the walls of the ruins, basically.
Can we charge them? We're Taurus, right?
Yes, I would like to see them first, though.
Yeah. Oof.
Critical hit minus 29.
Wait, that we don't have that much HP.
I mean, it didn't hit us. That's good.
Oh.
Holy
shit, but who... I feel like we're way out of our depth here.
A lead slug whizzes past from the northwest.
But someone's shooting at us with guns.
The brine stalk is destroyed. Okay, is somebody shooting at us or just generally shooting?
At the brine stalk. We just wandered into their shooting practice.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Do we want to continue on that path or do we want to try a different one?
I don't feel like, does it matter right now? We're already in the crosshairs.
I guess.
Now we can keep moving left. Like nothing happened.
Mm-hmm.
Let's shrug it off.
Okay, they're still shooting, but not at us, maybe? I can't. Oh, okay. There, I thought there was blood on the ground, but it's a musket turret. Hostile, very tough. A weapon mounted on an automated tripod.
Can we teleport again?
No, we have 5 turns left.
Well, we just go the other way from the very tough turret, I would suggest.
Yeah, run!
If we can.
Oh boy.
Jesus, fuck. Oh my. Why is there just a turret here?
Wait.
Does nobody think about safety?
You pour fresh water from your water skin over yourself. What? Why? What?
What? I don't know.
I
Did
don't
you
know
trip
either.
or something?
Maybe? Okay, we are behind a wall.
Oh,
Okay.
that's good. Okay. Are you full HP?
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't matter against this musket tower.
No,
though.
no. I feel like one hit and we just explode.
Yeah,
But-
I fear that we have to take that path because the others might lead nowhere. No, that one. Okay, that one leads up.
Yeah, we want to
Let's
go
go.
north, right?
Yeah, just let me check.
Maybe you got too hot and then you poured water on yourself. I don't know.
Maybe. Wet glow pad. A leaf. What? A leaf disc gleams through luminescent veins. Physical features: bite.
Ah,
But
it
it's
says-
neutral and average. Okay, so it doesn't want to hit us. And next to it is white glowfish.
okay.
So we just ignore that.
I would say so. Yeah.
Okay, just that was water. Yes. There's a fire burning and 2 more bedroll scrolls. Campfire. The warming phosphor of early Earth is neatly latticed by wood brick and functions now as a microscopic star. What?
That. Some of these sentences are just too beautiful to understand.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Wild. Okay, what is that? That's just a black thing? Oh, that's door. The slate is touched with years of handprints.
It's like a hut.
No, it's just like there are, to describe this a bit more, there are just walls running up and down the map,
Right.
basically.
Just ruins.
Yeah, and there is a door between 2 of these walls.
Sure.
We can go through, but I think we're basically at the start again now.
At the start.
Yeah, so I moved to the left,
Uh-huh.
the west. I'm just trying to figure out how to go north and following the ruins. And then there was the tower, and then I took a different path up north, and that one led up north, and then I
It
went
looped around to the south.
back to the east, and then down to the south.
Okay. Huh.
Also, there are sconces, so we are now in a room directly below the area where we can travel to the next map, basically. And the small room has 2 of these arc sconces. Sharp points of chrome are the vestiges of this utilitarian light fixture. Brightness bursts from its edges and lights the world. There's also a purple-colored wall piece,
Uh-huh.
graffitied limestone. Invertebrate life was sucked of its tissue and bled still over millions of years. The glucose rock is necropolis. Graffiti is scrawled across the surface. It reads, "This is a sign of my tiny lux." It says LU, and then there's like a cog,
Uh-huh.
and then GS. I spun my head. SWI cog again. S at these lavish words. Okay, it's just
I think it's just implying that some part of the graffiti is illegible.
yeah. Okay.
I'm not sure what to make of it, like many things.
Oh, and there's another giant centipede.
Ah,
In
crap.
perfect condition. We can just ignore it and go north.
Yeah. I feel like we're so out of our depth already.
Absolutely.
But okay. We,
Okay,
we
this-
will
this-
totally deal with those horrible beasts in the
At
north
some
once
point,
we get there.
yeah, exactly. Okay, we're back to farmland here.
Okay.
Just running north. Okay, what is that?
Those ruins were terrifying.
Croc, hostile, average. His hoary, cracked scales look like marked stone. Physical features, bite.
That's gonna fuck us up as well, isn't it?
Probably.
Everything fucks us up.
Yeah, we can just let's we
Can
could
you avoid it?
yeah we could try that, or we can charge it. Charge it.
Ah, interesting. Charge the croc.
Uh-huh.
Open strong.
Yeah.
Do you want to? I kind of want something to as an outlet for my aggression.
Yes.
Let's charge it.
Charge.
This is a good idea. And I
There we
mean,
go.
this time we can teleport when we want to escape.
You can't charge more than 3 spaces. Well,
Oh.
let it come.
I wish we had some kind of projectile. Can't you freeze ray it already?
Maybe. Yes. I think. -5 and it's frozen.
Oh, interesting.
Frozen croc. Hostile average. Injured. It took 5 damage.
This seems much more doable. Can you move towards it and then charge it once you're close enough?
Yes.
I mean, charging it while it's frozen sounds...
-2. Okay.
Alright.
Took 7 damage already.
Now we just beat on it. We can do this.
-2 again. It's no longer frozen, but it is wounded.
Come on.
It hits us. No, it doesn't hit us.
Ha.
And it's dead. The croc dies. But
Yeah,
there's
we did
no
it.
Corpse.
Yeah,
where's,
I mean,
where's my corpse?
we just hit it so hard. It evaporated.
Yes, we gained 75 XP.
Yeah.
Woo!
We killed our first enemy.
Mhm.
Amazing.
Yes.
Alright.
And we are at full HP.
Yeah. Took no damage.
Yes, so good at this
Yeah,
game.
this is the play. Freeze
Yeah.
him from a distance, charge him.
Hit him over the
Yeah,
head
yeah.
until he's dead.
Yeah. Amazing.
Alright, next map.
Yeah.
Oh. There's a deep pool of salty water that way. Move north again to enter it and start swimming.
Nah, we don't want to do that.
Can we go to the map somewhere else? There's a deep pool of salty water. Okay. Whoa! What? You pass a white door. And then you see a giant centipede to the southeast and stop moving. Okay. It just filled the whole log with that message.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we see a giant centipede.
Yeah, those gave us trouble before.
Yeah, but they seem to be the same strength as the croc.
Yeah, it just hit harder. And we behaved sort of more stupidly. Can you freeze again? Is that recharged?
Yes, let me just move closer a little bit.
I mean, freezing it from a distance and then charging it. If we can open that way.
You emit a freezing ray. Okay, it's not frozen, but it is injured.
Yeah, let's
Takes
charge
3
it.
damage. Can't charge more than 3 paces. Okay, can I just like wait a turn so it moves closer?
If you hit dot, that's usually the like the
okay.
period. That's
Nope.
No, okay.
Can I hit enter?
Or spacebar might be past turn.
There's nothing to take. Well, wait menu. Wait. If I click wait menu sounds promising, right?
Why would there be a menu for waiting?
I don't know. I'm gonna try it. I hope I don't just don't just sit down and wait here.
Go to
Wait
sleep.
1 turn. Yes.
Yeah.
We can also wait n turns, wait 20 turns, wait 10 turns,
that's why
wait
it's a
until
menu.
healed,
Yeah.
wait until party healed, or wait until morning.
This is very good to know. We will use this.
Mm-hmm.
But now we want to wait 1 turn.
And we did, and we missed on the charge.
Oh.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
now we just hit it.
you begin bleeding.
Oh shit.
You take no damage from bleeding. Yay!
Ha!
The bloody giant centipede critically hits you for 2
Oh.
damage with its bite.
Well, that's not that much.
But we hit it also for 2 damage. It's injured still.
Yeah.
You stop bleeding. Way. It hit us for 2 damage. We hit it for 2 damage. It's badly wounded.
Yeah. We can win this.
Okay, not yet. But now we did.
We win?
We win. Yes.
Nice.
125 XP. Woo!
Okay. Getting there.
Mm-hmm.
Now we can use the wait menu to wait until we're healed.
Correct. There's also a bloody water vine. Salt gathered in his furrows. It's knotted with moisture-swollen wafers in place of leaves. Okay, does that?
Can you like loot it to get water?
A puddle of 1 gram of blood.
Blood.
Blood. Yes.
I don't know if that's useful.
Can we take that? Use select direction. Oh, puddle of 2 grams of brackish blood. We can collect the liquid, we can drink it, we can look at it, we can pour it, and we can show effects.
I mean, I see no use for this.
Yeah, me neither. far.
Maybe if you're a blood mage or something.
Let me look at it. Liquid dots the ground in shallow pools. Add simple taste-based effects to cooked meals.
Ah, yeah, we're not good at cooking.
Yeah. So show effects. No active effects. Oh, okay. There's some buffs and stuff like that. Okay.
Did it leave a corpse, the centipede?
Puddle of 1 gram of blood. Is that better? No corpse as far as I can tell. Just the blood. Do we want the blood? Probably
No,
not,
I
no?
don't want blood.
There we go. And we can wait until we're healed. Hey, we.
I would have expected us to die by now. It's already going longer than I anticipated.
Yeah, we're doing great.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, we are leaving blood.
Are we still bleeding? No, it stopped, right?
Yes, it stopped. No, I think we just marched into blood. Oh, is there also is that a stairs down? Light apps of the descending stair.
Oh wow, a dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to go down there.
So we can. So these stairs are at the south of the map.
Yeah.
We could also go further north.
What do you want to do?
Going down into a dungeon does.
There must be something cool in there, right?
Yes, let's go.
We should go down. Maybe it's not that deep.
Yeah, exactly. Go down. Building zone. Oh, it's just another. Ow!
Oh no, it says a turret.
The rifle turret hits you. Okay. How bad is it? Very tough. Anyway.
Okay, back up again, I guess.
You died. You were killed by rifle. God damn it!
Ah, that's so good.
Oh,
you step into the
boy.
first and you immediately get shot in the head like a stupid cow.
like the first person, the first creature we battle almost kills us.
Yeah, this is more like it. It's like, fuck you. You went downstairs, you die.
We were so bad at adventuring, Marius.
I know. We like
I
can
mean-
barely battle the like wildlife.
Yeah.
And then there's just like random turrets around that just shoot us.
The first turret like smashes a wall next to us, and we
And
figure,
we just got
well,
lucky. It literally exploded the like tree next to us.
Yeah, and we just kept going.
Yeah.
Huh, what's that?
Huh? Wait, they're not shooting at us, right?
God damn it.
Well, this one did.
Yeah, it hit twice. Once for 3 damage and once for 15.
Yeah, one was the warning shot and we didn't listen.
Like I just took one step off the stairs. And before
Yeah.
we could go back, it shot us again.
Man, this is how I like my RPGs.
That was good. Oh boy.
Yeah, I say we take a break,
Sounds good.
like a 5-minute break or so.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we'll be back and we'll see what we do then.
Yeah.
All right.
See you in a bit.
See you in a bit. And we're back. Hello, everyone. That was fun. I'm very glad we did this, Vincent. I'll be very happy to bring this back up whenever we need to fill some time, space, whatever. Feels perfect for that because 100% we're gonna die after 10 minutes again. Especially now after we spent some time figuring out the interface and stuff. Next time we won't have to do that.
Yeah, we just got an achievement. Welcome to Qud.
Yes. Yeah. I do actually. I enjoy these games tremendously. It brings me joy.
Yeah. And we also get now a log of what we did in the game summary.
Right, and in NetHack and stuff, it would when you die, it identifies all your inventory and stuff. But we didn't really find anything artifact-y.
No.
Right, so there's nothing to identify.
No, it was even the log is on the 7th of Uluud. You arrived at Joppa. In sacred ritual, you shared your water with Elder Iridat. You discovered Joppa.
Thank you for
Kalinga.
following at Narf37.
Hey, thanks for following.
Oh, thanks. You read Arch I Was. You read that Scribe and Scryst stamping data.
It
volume
really
5.
logs all those useless
You read
auto-generated
visual
books.
instrument and sensory. And on the
Okay.
7th of Uluud.
The most common screen to see as a new player smile.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then on the 7th of Uluud, you were killed by a rifle turret. So
Yes, that was the biggest event in our life.
One ritual, 3 books, and then we died.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun.
Can we scroll? No, there's a scroll bar, but there's nothing to scroll to. You survived for 490 turns. You
Yeah.
found 1 layer.
Oh, that was a lair that we stumbled into and immediately
Apparently,
died.
yes.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Cool. I will probably want to play this again next week, Vincent.
Yeah, but
If
no,
we
that's
meet,
fine. I mean,
next week.
I'm tempted to play it in between.
Oh, on
good.
your own? Like, don't do that. Come on. I've had this happen before. Like, Stefan did this with me with Slay the Spire. Like, we played it together, and then he goes home and, like, plays the shit out of it on his own. Yeah, but I guess you can do whatever you want, Vincent. It's
No,
okay.
that's fine.
I feel like this game also has probably enough depth to replay it a bunch of times, and you still won't know it. I am tempted to just browse the wiki and come up with the most imbalanced play character build.
Yeah, but
That
don't
we
you
can
think we
find.
can do that on our own?
Yeah, I honestly feel like that. No, honestly, that was we played a preset, right? This Taurus guy, and I assume the mutations will always be the same for this guy because it's a preset.
Narf37. There are more than one way to break Qud.
Yeah, I can imagine, and I'm sure there's many ways to
Yes.
break it. But I was gonna say
we
that
haven't found one yet.
no, it
but
just broke us
Yes.
like repeatedly. Like,
yeah,
then-
we turned one corner. Oh, there's a turret.
yeah. Now you have a bullet in your Taurus head.
Narf37. Almost all of the presets are pretty good for balanced beginning characters.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. That we chose the Taurus, which felt like the most beginner-friendly thing ever, and it had arranged it. It was beefy, literally. Didn't die immediately. Had a ranged attack, a freeze thing, which was sort of interesting, and it had a teleport, which is really great because we used it wrong. But you could always use that as an escape mechanic, right? And you can get into trouble, and then the teleport gets you out immediately.
And also, you can get to places that you usually couldn't, like behind doors, maybe. There was
Yeah,
nothing
if
about
something
line
would
of
have.
sight.
I mean, that's an amazing way to get killed, right? Just teleport over a wall with the turret in front of you.
Narf37. There are a bunch of community-created builds up on https://wiki.cavesoft.com/wiki/build_library.
Okay.
This is great, by the way. The screen reader reading URLs
Yes.
is the best thing ever. Though I could actually parse that in my head, and that's I'm itching to look at that. Although it's also maybe you shouldn't play it on your own. I shouldn't spoil myself by looking at.
Yeah,
the
at
wikis.
least for like one more
I know.
stream, and then we can decide. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, let's.
It's 100. I think it's almost part of these games, right? To play them and fail horribly and use that as a learning experience, right? That's how
Yeah.
you learn about the game.
Yeah.
And like I get, or by asking NPCs and stuff. That's okay too.
Yeah.
Which we had a little bit, but yeah.
Like we did the water ritual, and we learned a lot about
Yeah.
the different communities and how they hate
yeah.
and love each other.
And the holy place of the crabs.
Exactly.
And all
Yeah.
So
You have to find the crab.
yeah. Also, now I want to watch that interview with the creators and Toady and his brother.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll look at that, and that will be my spoiling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I recommend it.
Also, it's so impressive to me the place that roguelikes.
Narf 37. That's a good interview.
I see. It is well known, apparently. Yes. Now I know what I will be doing tonight or tomorrow morning, perhaps. I was just gonna say, it's. I think
Narf
it's a
37. I'm on the dev team.
Holy shit! Really? Oh, well.
Whoa. Okay. Hi.
Any recommendations for completely new players? What should we do next in Qud?
Not die, probably. Avoid turrets, probably.
Like I felt still a little bit directionless as far as where do you go?
I mean, to the north.
Yeah,
They had a
that's true,
quest.
but that felt extremely deadly.
Narf 37. I'm working on the UI updates, so it's always fun for me to watch people learning it to help curve the edges.
Interesting.
Okay. I have to say, as the person here that has to deal with the UI, it was a lot better than I expected.
Dude,
Just like comparing it to Dwarf Fortress, oh man.
yeah, I mean that's what we're used to, right? And what I was expecting, right? It's like a classic roguelike like NetHack or whatever, and they have no real interface to speak of, and this seemed much more involved. Though I do feel like that's sort of the new generation of roguelikes, right? Like Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. I was talking to Vincent about this earlier. That also has a sort of more modern interface with lots of like quality of live stuff. Like we noticed in this game also
Narf
there's
37. You can go back to pure console mode, but the new UI is really nice and modern.
Right, yeah. I mean, I appreciate that. Like,
Yeah.
I used to play these games in ASCII mode, and I would play Dwarf Fortress, for instance, in ASCII mode. But I know that people don't like that. Like, people really are into the graphical tiles.
I mean, I like the fact that it's there, that you can see the bare bones of the game, and
Yeah.
but graphics are nice for.
No, absolutely. That's the way to go nowadays.
Yeah.
And I noticed it also has these sort of quality of life things. Like we didn't use this. I wonder if this would be nice to use, like with the points of interest, right, and navigation and so on.
Yeah, we died too quickly for that. We realized.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine traveling back to the village, for example, for the quest. That's nice.
Yeah. So I said this earlier. Do you know if this is playable with a screen reader? Because I, as a blind person, right, I'm not like. Usually, I don't expect to be able to play roguelikes, and I know it's
Narf
a weird.
37. Yeah, Qud is a game about exploring and looking around.
For the points of interest, yeah. But yeah, earlier with the, it's mechanics like the points of interest thing that sort of, at least in theory, would enable me to play a roguelike. And I know I have done this with NetHack, which I think in later versions also has this sort of points of interest feature. And you can sort of, if you can just pick from a list, sort of places you automatically navigate to, it makes it sort of accessible to blind people. Which is, I mean, it's still not super pleasant to play, I'll be honest, right? Playing NetHack is kind of still sort of a pain, just because inevitably it's sort of difficult to get a sense of a 2D map when you're blind, right? But it was at least playable, and this
Narf
one...
37. Sadly, not at all. Screen reader is hard AF to get it working in a game like this.
I
There's been
know.
some good talks about how one might do it, but how do you communicate the depth of the 80 by 25 map and all the risks you can read, etc.?
Yeah, you don't, is the answer, and I totally get that.
Yes.
As I was saying, right, even with NetHack, it's sort of possible, but it's not at all pleasant, right? I would like the points of interest thing makes it sort of, I think, feasible at all, but I would like literally go through character by character on the entire map, right? And there the ASCII thing helps because that allows the screen reader to have something to read out.
Yeah.
But it's, it's a slow way to play the game.
Yeah, and you would have to do that for basically every turn, right?
Yeah,
Just to
pretty
get
much.
a sense of,
Yeah.
okay, where is everybody? Are they getting closer? Are they running
Narf
away?
37. It's something that I would love to explore a bit more someday, but we need to make the accessible mouse/touch/controller UIs.
So that means accessibility for like people, I don't know, who don't have all hands and stuff, or what does that mean, an accessible mouse?
Mouse touch controller? I don't know.
Or like, I guess you could also improve the screen reader by having the mouse sort of hover over stuff and read it out, although that's usually not very pleasant to use it that way. because you tend to get lost. The thing that helped in NetHack was that after a turn, the cursor would always center back on your player character, and then you're sort of
Narf 37. Just a lot of our UI is console mode still. Need the fancier UIs that can respond to various screen sizes and input devices working.
Right. Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also something I like to think about. What would be like, even if you had a roguelike that you would design specifically just for screen readers to be optimally accessible, it still would be a pain, right? And these are obviously that's a small sort of target audience.
Yeah.
Like it's not like not everyone is a freak like me. Like there's not exactly hundreds of thousands of blind people clamoring to play weird little roguelikes. Although
maybe if it was accessible, there might be.
I could tell them that it's great. Yeah. I mean, lots of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I told you about the AMA I read earlier about the what was the name? The card game.
Balatro.
Balatro.
Yeah.
Yes. And one of the top 10 questions was from a blind person asking about
really?
screen reader, and it was
Yeah.
the only one unanswered.
As they usually are.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, it is true. Like screen readers are hard as fuck, and like it is.
also single developer and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. It's not. I mean, I struggle with the same stuff, right? It's I continue to be surprised and shocked that there is no platform independent way to include screen readers in programs. Like even if you just look at Python libraries to even just TTS. Right, there are packages out there, and they claim to be platform independent, but they're not at all well maintained. They either don't work, or they don't work on every platform. And there's
Narf
just
37. Yeah, my other day job actually. I'm working on screen reader testing for ARIA at .w3.org.
Oh wow. Yeah, it's interesting. Wow, now we can do some real tech talking here. Like you don't happen to have a platform independent solution for screen reading, right? Because
Well, I'm gonna be in the next.
No, we're not gonna do that. But that is very interesting. Because it's I keep looking into solutions because this is the last thing I'll say on this, okay? Because you have the infrastructure on all the relevant platforms,
Narf
right?
37. There isn't even a screen reader independent solution among screen readers. Smile.
Yes, it's true. But you do have, I do like the current infrastructure on Linux, which is what I use mostly, right? You have the speech dispatcher that seems sort of robust and flexible also, because you can have different backends for speech engines. And on macOS you have, I don't know what it's called, but the program might be called Say or whatever, but it works. Like Mac comes out of the box with a screen reader.
Wouldn't it be I say?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. But they are aware of that stuff. It generally works. I don't know.
Narf
Use
37.
Mac.
VoiceOver.
Yeah, that's right. It's called VoiceOver. But the thing is, I was thinking of Say. I think that there's a console program which you can, you might invoke that from Python or whatever, and then I think that's called Say. That's what that made me think of Say. But then there's Windows, right?
Yeah.
Probably the biggest player, and they. I'm not familiar anymore with Windows really, but from what I read, they nowadays have something that's called SAPI 5 or whatever.
Narf 37. Yeah, you can AppleScript. Say boo.
Yeah, exactly. Which is and that's useful because that's also how you would do it in Linux, right? There you have SPD-say, and it makes sense that these things sort of have the same interface. And you would hope that there is such a thing for Windows, but there isn't quite, except that there are these weird libraries, SAPI 5, and that was new to me. I thought that Windows just doesn't have any accessibility stuff for blind people. I suspect you kind of can't get away with that anymore nowadays.
Probably not.
But there's
It would be very much like Windows to just say
it
that.
is. Yeah, okay, but here's the thing. I'm not going to just entirely shit on them, because I do see the one problem that they might be facing, or may have been facing, which is that they have sort of inadvertently created a market for screen reader companies, right? I mean, there are screen readers for Windows. You just have to pay for them, like JAWS and NVDA, and I don't know. I don't really use Windows. Like, I'm not super familiar with those. But those are companies who sort of live off of selling.
Narf 37. NVDA is free.
Oh, is it? Okay. That sort of takes the wind out of my sails. Also, I should make a note to try out NVDA, but yeah, okay. It was a hypothetical argument, I guess, that, you know, Microsoft might not want to eat the lunch of all these companies, right? Which is...
But doesn't it usually happen that they just buy one of them and that becomes the officially supported one?
I guess they do that, yeah. Because they're in the same bind in other industries, right?
Yeah.
It's always this question, okay, what kind of stuff do you integrate into the operating system? What do you leave for private companies to solve? But I guess that, yeah, I'm learning today. Good to know. That doesn't apply to the screen reader market anymore. Also, then I wonder, okay, if you wanted to have a platform-independent screen reading solution, do you just use NVDA on Windows and you expect everyone, you know, to use
Narf
that?
37. Well, it's slightly better than the other problem emo. iEmocos has so much integration with voiceover only basically.
Hold on. I didn't quite understand that. Vincent, can you read that out?
Yes.
Because of the
Here
IMAX
comes the
stuff.
voiceover.
Yes.
Uh,
And I'm sorry, I'm dragging you to this highly technical conversation.
Narf 37. You can't use any other screen reader on macOS.
okay.
I understand now. That's the opposite problem. Yeah. Well, hope you like, you know, voiceover. I have to say, voiceover is quite decent. Like, I use that
Narf
every...
37. Only voiceover, which feels worse emo.
Well, I mean, I don't like using that on a desktop at all. I have, you know, operated my Mac laptop, and I don't like it very much. But I have to say, I do enjoy it on iPads and stuff.
Is it at all different or is it identical?
So the screen reader engine, the TTS, is the same, right? The voice quality is totally decent, I feel like. But the thing is, obviously, you operate an iPad completely differently.
Sure.
Because you can touch it, and they've done a good job of coming up with an interface there that is actually sort of decent for blind people, because, you know, it changes the whole interface. You have to double tap to activate something. You can do this weird twisty thing with thumb and index finger to get a rotating menu. They've put some work into that stuff.
Narf 37. It's probably only saved by the fact that voiceover is probably the best screen reader on touch. Its keyboard / etc. responses are much worse than NVDA or JAWS.
Right, I think that's exactly what I'm getting at. It's like, yeah, with a touch screen, it's I find it totally usable. On the laptop, like, I didn't like it. Like, just, you know, navigating with tab and arrow keys and stuff does not feel good. And I don't have high standards. I use Orca on Linux, and it's not great either, but it totally gets the job done. And it's free and open source and stuff.
Now I'm wondering if you could use, like, there are these tablet / PCs, right? That have both options. Can you just use the Apple screen reader for PC stuff, but with a touchscreen?
It's a good idea. I've never tried. Then this is like for laptops that have an actual screen that you can touch.
Yeah, I don't know if there are any actually.
Yeah, I don't have
think
one of
so.
those.
Well, but yeah.
But
Just
it's,
thought.
I mean, theoretically that would also like make my life easier, right? To just have that as an additional thing to operate websites and stuff.
Yeah.
To just use my grubby little hands to touch the screen.
Yeah, so now I'm thinking
With Cheeto hands, like.
you could, in that case, you could play Caves of Qud and just put like a square map over your screen so you can feel where the squares are.
I've thought about that. You know, just alternative input devices for blind people. That's totally a thing. I mean, they do have. I don't use those. That's like going real deep. Like, I'm not sure how popular that is, but there are Braille terminals, right? Or Braille consoles, or however you call them.
Narf 37. Braille readers.
Yes. And this, Vincent, do you know this? I've one of those somewhere lying around. I've never shown it to you, I think. But this is an actual.
You're keeping secrets.
No, I've never used this because I did actually learn Braille back in the day, but I never use it in everyday life, so I've sort of lost the skill, and it doesn't really matter. But
it's insane how much the world has changed, right? Like 20 years ago,
Yeah.
You had to,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
But now, well,
No,
just
it's true.
let your iPhone read it out.
It's true because you don't need the braille stuff because even if you like go to a bus stop or whatever, I remember growing up and there being like metal plaques with like braille on it, right? And we can sort of imagine a world in which we no longer live where that is the only way to know which buses stop at that stop, right?
Yeah.
But
Even-
nowadays,
I mean, I took a bus here, and the stop button still have the braille thing.
oh yeah. Which is, I mean, it's kind of hilarious. I mean, you can kind of infer from context what that button does, but sure, I appreciate the effort. But it's so antiquated, right? Because nowadays at the bus stop, you just look at your phone, right, and it reads it out with voiceover, and that's sort of how you do everything. And so braille has a little bit fallen by the wayside, but these devices are still kind of cool. You know, it's just like a physical device, imagine sort of smaller than a keyboard, and then you have a line of little indentations on it, little tiny pin needle sort of sized buttons, a little bit larger,
Okay.
a little bit thicker, and you know, each I guess 6 holes for each sort of slot, right? Like these braille dots.
Yeah.
And then metal bars literally come out of them and reach up, and you can feel them, right? And it changes programmatically, depending on, for instance, what line your cursor might be on in a text document or whatever. You know, that line will then be displayed in quotes by the braille reader.
Okay.
You know, bringing up those metal things.
That's pretty cool.
It is cool because it makes sounds as well. It's super sci-fi, but unfortunately sort of useless because, you know, I don't use the skill and just the screen reader is faster.
Also, I mean, you are used to typing on a keyboard, and you don't
Yeah.
have to. You know where all the buttons are, right? You don't
Yeah.
have to look at it.
No,
which-
I don't. I'm pretty comfortable and proficient with the keyboard, but that's totally a thing, right? These braille readers, they do even have buttons for you to input braille in case you want to write in braille, and it's to me that all seems like archaic technology, but it's just kind of cool that it exists, and it does make me think, okay, what if you see here's the most amazing way to play Caves of Qud. You have a braille reader. Build this, okay? Like,
Yeah, spend the
is
next
my
5 years of your
feature
life.
request for Caves of Qud. Build a 2-dimensional braille display thing, kind of like a chessboard, but more. I want more than just 64 squares. And like each of them has like these little braille bars that come up, but you know, it's 2-dimensional, so I can feel my way around the village of Joppa, and you know, every character in.
Why not make it 3-dimensional?
Well, how are you going to touch that? No, honestly. Like,
you
okay, first of all, what are you talking about? This isn't Dwarf Fortress. Like, this isn't 3-dimensional, right?
Well, I mean,
there's up or down.
yes.
But I just don't know this about the game. Is it like coordinated 3D? It
Narf 37. If you want to build a 80 by 25 by 16 by 24 display, we could just make the whole screen tactile smile.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want. Right? I mean, and then, you know, you could push on it, and then that would select the thing, and the character would work there. I mean, you laugh, but that would be super cool if you just imagine that.
I agree, yeah.
You could even program into it sort of cool animations
Narf
for
37. Cut underneath is only 3 color tiles: background, detail, foreground.
Oh, that is a bit involved, though. I don't know. I might have to take my request to the NetHack devs, which is a simpler game.
Yeah.
Although I don't know, but yeah, I still think like I
Narf
wonder.
37. If we had a little tactile display that raised things halfway / all the way, you could actually feel the shape of the tile. That could be funny smile.
Yes, that's like if you build this in an even more higher fidelity to have like actual terrain and stuff. But that would be so cool, right? Do you imagine what I'm imagining? If you have like just, you know, you clicked on the screen and your little character would walk somewhere, and in this case you would have this tactile thing laying in front of you, and you would see the little character, you know, walk over it by things coming up, and yeah, you know what I mean.
Little hologram.
A man can dream. Come on.
Yeah, we just need that Star Citizen money, and then
Oh my god, yeah. Maybe I should go to them and make ridiculous accessibility
Yeah, oh God.
requests to the Star
yeah.
Citizen developers. And yeah,
At next interview they give, so we are planning on a full bodysuit.
maybe that's a great career path for me to become accessibility consultant on Star Citizen. It's like a bullshit forever job. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, this was whatever this was very nice and satisfying. Thanks
Yes.
for having this conversation. We will probably get back to Caves of Qud next week or whenever we meet again.
Yeah. Yeah, this
At
was
least now I'm super intrigued to see more of this game.
Yes. Oh man, I don't know. Since you played Dwarf Fortress with Steffen, and we at some point talked about Caves of Qud as well.
Yeah.
I was always intrigued by it, and then I saw it on Steam a few months back probably, but I never got around to it. But man, I'm glad that we did.
Now, yeah,
That was a really good game,
yeah,
even for the tiny bit we saw.
yeah.
Also, I have no idea how to get out. There's no quit button. Oh yeah, there's an X. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna move now onto a game that is, in my opinion, has even worse accessibility than Caves of Qud, and that is Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
And it has only slightly higher graphical fidelity.
Oh god, we're back in the Matrix.
What does that mean in the console version?
No, just OBS showing
Oh,
OBS,
right.
showing
Yeah,
OBS, showing OBS.
Yeah, we did have problems with Caves of Qud and OBS for reasons which may just be us. I don't know.
I think maybe that was just the stream on the laptop displaying weirdly.
Yeah.
Because I think it has done that before.
Yeah. Okay.
But let's go here and start Baldur's Gate.
Yes.